a prime time. Friday night witching hour, like the old days. Woo! What's going on, everyone? Who do we got in the chat so far? Who do we got? James G. Warrior. What's up, dude? Thanks for letting me know about my previous stream going long and just Fraser there in a bra for 5 minutes straight. Jedi Spam, cool to see you, brother. Megan, what's going on, Megan? Homos. Asher. Comos again. Who else? Hey, fucking Johnny. What's up, Johnny? Mig as in Miguel, I believe. What's going on, man? So, all right. Our first guest, like I gotta show him. What 1,000 guests. What am I talking about? Our only guest of the night is longtime Conrad, I would say. Seen him around. Actually ended up playing with him in a band. Supports metal, for especially Texas metal, like crazy. Since I known him, showing up at the shows and never stopped showing up at the shows, pretty much. And he's done pretty good for himself. Let's bring him on, man. Let's welcome Jake Holmes. What's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
Howdy, y'all. Howdy.
Howdy.
My volume down just a tad.
Yeah, it was a little.
I'm known for not really having an indoor voice, so let me moderate.
Inside voice, Jake. Inside voice.
It's okay, cool. That shouldn't really be clicking right now anymore.
Nah, it's not bad now. You got it.
Sick. Howdy, y'all.
Fucking Jake. What's up, Jake? LOL. All right, man. So, Jake, you're from San Antonio, right? Originally, or how's this story go, man? I'm confused.
So, common misconception, I think people just think that I'm from San Antonio because, A, that's where I went to school, and B, Plutonian Shore. I'm actually from the Austin area, just the suburbs, not going to say which exact city. But I've actually lived in, the only time I ever lived in San Antonio was just when I was in college. Every other time I've been in Austin and the adjacent suburbs. I actually live about 10 minutes from the same hospital I was born at, so I don't really venture too far from where I'm actually from.
So, but when did you started going probably shows when you were in college a lot here in town? I remember seeing you at a lot of the early shows and everything.
Yeah. That was definitely the more underground area, just because A, Austin didn't have as much going on, and B, when it did, it was usually 21 and up, so I was kind of SOL at the time.
Because I remember when Hod started playing, I remember seeing you at almost like every show we would play.
I think the first show I ever saw you guys, I believe, was March 2010. I think that was one of the last shows of Bjorn, if I'm remembering correctly. And I remember that because I had seen Motorhead the same night, and TA came up to me. I think I was wearing my Creator shirt. So he came up and talked to me about Pleasure to Kill, handed me a Hod flyer, and here I am 15 years later. Actually, almost to the day. That would have been about mid-March 2010.
So TA, I didn't know this story. See, that's why I love I love finding out stuff on the show. TA gave you the flyer for the show at Motorhead.
All his fault.
It's all his fault. Damn Trans Am.
Good old TA. I saw him just at Hell's the other day.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. He played, didn't he? I think I saw a video of him playing.
Yeah, playing a show. Actually, he was wearing his Hod shirt too.
Hodsome.
Yeah, represent.
Represent. I saw you wearing your Hod shirt in the interview today. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That was a cool interview, man. It's cool to see y'all in there. Like, yeah, I know all them guys. Well, almost all of them. And guys, that includes Zeke, because I'm not going to say guys and gal. That sounds silly. Yeah. So, Mr. Jake Holmes, when you were younger in Austin area, what type of metal was you first starting out in? Like, or, what kind of led you towards listening to more harder music?
Well, the first unambiguously metal album that I would have heard would have been the first 3 Metallica albums. Growing up, like, especially in that nadir of metal in like the early 2000s, it was almost impossible to actually find quote unquote real metal. So it took me I think I was 14 whenever I first heard Metallica. So little lower. Oh, hey, Aaron, good seeing you too. But so I heard first 3 Metallica when I was 14, and then that led into Slayer, which led into bands like Exhorder, Nuclear Assault, SOD, Hyrax, which led into bands like Slaughter, which led into Morbid Angel. It was more or less chronological.
Just getting into the heavier stuff as you went
Yeah,
along.
yeah, yeah.
And when did you start like noticing like Texas scene and the Texas,
Probably
underground?
not until I started going to the more underground shows in college.
Yeah. So it is TA's fault then.
Yeah, yeah, you can blame TA and Jeff, both of those also bass players. You can blame for me,
That's awesome, dude. TA and Jeff.
Texas.
Um,
Oh, and also, I know there might be some confusion. This is not actually a Texas flag behind me. I mentioned this to Carl earlier, but this is actually a Chilean flag, which I got after we played there last year, and it was a really good show. And I always rep other countries that we played in. So salutes to the Chilean maniacs.
yeah, because most people are going to assume that's a Texas flag back there hanging up.
I think, in fairness, we ripped it off from them, but it's water under the bridge. That was like 200 years ago.
Yeah, what are we going to do now? So when did you decide? Okay, I'm getting into this metal stuff. What made you decide to play an instrument? What was bass always your first instrument, or were you
Bass.
like
And it
bass?
was it was because of Cliff. Absolutely, Cliff Burton. I never really. I actually mentioned this in the Rauta interview too, but the idea was like I never really wanted to play guitar. Anytime I've played a guitar, either on a recording or live, it's either been as an emergency fill-in, or just because it's a song I wrote and I don't feel like teaching it to someone else. But bass was always that was the light bulb moment where before it's like, how in middle school or middle or even younger, you're like, oh, I want to be in a band like, Kiss or, uh, Rush or whatever. But
Sure.
it wasn't until I heard actual, heavy metal with heavy metal bass that was the spark that was like, I don't just want to be in a band. I want to be a musician. Now make
Yeah.
your own jokes about bass players being musicians, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, that was the eureka moment. And here I am 20 years later. It's taken me all over the world. Been on a shit ton of recordings. It's it's been pretty good.
What would you say your first like serious foray into a band was? Which band would you say that was?
That was Morgengrau.
Morgengrau?
Morgengrau was my first real band. There was no way I was going to get a serious band going in my suburb of Austin. And then when I first met Nick, formerly of Morgengrau, currently of Imprecation and Trenchant, me and him tried to get a band going that we wanted it to be something like Demolition Hammer, where it was just that frantic, violent thrash. But good luck finding, people that could do that at the time. And so it wasn't really until Morgengrau started that I actually joined what became my first real band. And for some also lore, we started jamming on the band that became Morgengrau before the band was even named. Erica asked me at Maryland Death Fest 2010 if I wanted to just jam on some like Asphyx and Pestilence songs, which obviously, early Pestilence.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
great. So the three of us, me, her, and Reba, just started jamming on those covers. And then I think it was after a few months, I don't remember if she had the original song first or if it was like, hey, let's try writing some originals. But by the end of that summer, we had the song Extrinsic Pathway, which became the title track of the first album, Extrinsic Pathway. And then it all just kind of went from there.
Wow. So, yeah, we heard 2010 already. Wow.
2010, and and we actually practice at the exact same. It's a different building, but kind of the same rehearsal compound as I did way back in 2010. That was back when Morgengrau would have been using what was the Drifter room, if you remember Erica's old Iron Maiden cover band.
They're really
I didn't
good.
even have a real rig at the time. I had like just that tiny little like milk carton box amp, and I was actually using Stoney from Drifter, who's now a Bifus bass rig. I think he had one of those like Ampeg 8x10, the big fancy one.
Well, yeah, it's on good rig. Dude,
Tony's a killer bass player. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I never really knew him that well, but he's a great bass player. Really
yeah,
good.
I see him playing in Drifter and Sad Wings, right? He plays in that too.
I think so. I don't know if I ever actually saw Sad Wings, but I saw him in Drifter a million times.
Damn, I never saw Sad Wings.
Anybody that can keep up with Steve Harris is by default. Hey, what's up, T-Bone? Hey, what's up, Eric? Anyone who can keep up with Steve Harris, because I can't. That's kind of my Achilles heel. I can play with my fingers, but that's actually how I started, which is a detour that we can go later. But just that constant like dun 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 dun.
Keeping it moving constantly.
Maybe I could have done it when I was like 17, but I guess being older and with battered joints now, it's just I can't do that dun 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 dun. So respect.
So you play with a pick.
Yeah, nowadays, but probably like 95% of the time. And the simple answer is it's just what fits the music more. It needs that, especially like whether it's Churchacide, Morbosidad, what other? Oh yeah, we never actually said what bands you may actually remember me from.
Yeah, let's kind of. I think we're 30 minutes. 32 people in. So yeah, it's about time let's get a little background. So someone who isn't familiar, Jake, what are some of the? Let's name drop some of the the bands you're in.
Okay, so anyway, hi guys, I'm Jake. I'm a bass player. I have been in the bands Morgengrau, Plutonian Shore, Venereal Baptism, Widower, my own band Churchacide. Currently, most people these days probably know me for being Morbosidad's bass player since 2019. Let me check my discography box. What else have I played in?
Discography box.
Condemner. I played bass on that Necroblade EP. Current bass player of Wormbold, which is Zeke's band. This box is huge. And yeah, I've done like a bunch of solo projects and other stuff. So you ain't. Hey, what's up, Mr. Other Bass Man? I'm not gonna dox you, but hey, what's up? This guy, yeah, the aforementioned Beppis Eggs is my live bass player.
Okay. So, dude, that's a lot of bands. Just even scratch the surface, and you played in Hot at one point too. My band.
True. Yeah, I was the fill-in between TA and then I think Zeus. No, TA.
No, you were after Zeus, I believe, before Keith.
Oh, that's right, because Zeus switched to guitar.
Yeah, that's when you came in, I believe.
Yeah. It was like December 2015, and then through like mid 2016, I think, was when Keith. I was just like a stopgap to kind of help pass the baton, because even then I was in like 5 or 6 bands or something.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling us it was just to fill in, to get us through whatever, and then I find out later that you and Keith had a little deal going on, that you basically made a deal with him to be the Hod bass player. Keith said something like that.
I don't doubt it, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, he was like,
I think maybe more the term hand picking a replacement that I knew is a good bass player and good person, and not not a fuck up. Not saying anyone was a fuck up, just in general.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about that. So anyway, most of the guys were great. Dun, dun. All right, so you want to play? Let's play a track from Morgengrau. So, let me get this pulled up for you. Video file. It's been a while since I used the video files. Now, this is Jake's earliest, like one of your earliest recordings, I would say, like in a professional setting.
Blood Oracle.
What's that? Broke up.
I guess we'll find out the song, but this, we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, we'll play the song and we'll talk about it when we come back. Here we go.
To arms, his children spawn to overthrown, immortal lepers reign, spreading filth amongst the pure. Idols no tire, slaughter flows, the lines are drawn, create the lure. All eyes filled with darkness now. Invert the mortal, the light is drawn, disavowed. All tongues speak the golden lie. Turning the keystone, release the horde, sanctify. Into the battle, wash crimson with the tide. Twist the sigil, turn them back to the road. Infanticide the bearers of the marker. Once the gods now are the free, their golden songs turn to screams. The river foam they shall decay.
All right, there we go. Morgengrau.
Yes, that was the second Morgengrau album, which was recorded in March of 2017 and then released by Unspeakable Acts Records in 2018.
What happened? Is that label still around?
I don't know.
I've heard they were putting out quite a few things. Yeah, that sounds real good. I mean, that's awesome. At Harris Johns. How did that come about?
That was all Erica. Erica was pretty much the creative voice of the band and ran all the production decisions and all that stuff. I just showed up, played bass,
played your bass, and she did the rest. She did all the other stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. Some bands, it's like you can't really having one central leader works best for that particular band. I'm the central leader in several bands, and yeah, that just worked really well because Erica had a very clear vision for what Morgengrau was supposed to be. So she pretty much just ran that. I played bass, did all the good stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at your comment, and it's funny because it's funny how the whole scene's connected. We jammed with Kevin on drums.
Big incestuous web around me.
Yes. We jammed with Kevin. He was our drummer for a while in Hod.
I was also in that iteration, yes.
Yeah, you played with Tim with us too. And Erica was in Hod for a short time. She played L.A. with us when we played Gathering of the Bestial Legions or whatever with Autopsy. Yeah, so pretty cool. How it all works out. Everybody seems to know everybody in the Texas scene one way or another, or the underground scene. But that was a good sounding song. So how long was Morgengrau active? Morgengrau active.
More or less, let me think. So what became Morgengrau started in summer of 2010. By the latter half of 2010, we had the name Morgengrau. Then we played the first show at Korova Basement in July of 2011. That was like almost all covers. I think the only two originals we did were the title track, Extrinsic Pathway, and I think Shemesh and Lighten, which is also on the first album. The rest was like Pestilence and Asphyx covers. Played a few shows. The last show we ever played was December 2015, which actually Morbosidad headlined. So yet again, everything comes full circle.
Yeah.
And the week before that was, I think, actually the first show that I filled in for Hod, where it was Morgengrau of Homine with Pete Helmkamp, Hod, and then probably was it Sacred Curse? Who am I kidding? It was a show Carlos booked, so probably Sacred Curse.
Oh yeah, in Houston. Yeah.
And then that was the last show we ever played, was the Austin one in 2015 with Morbosidad, Plutonian Shore, Morgengrau, and I do not have the flyer around. So just that web of bands that would have been active at the time.
Awesome. So when they break up, or deactivate, however you want to say it, what's your next step now? Where did you go from there from Morgengrau?
Oh, I like with after Morgengrau more or less ceased operations after that album came out. That came out in 2018, and after that we never really did anything as far as getting like a permanent drummer.
Okay, so you were already going to be active in Plutonian Shore, right? After.
Oh yeah, I was Morgengrau was so I was the Morgengrau lineup was remarkably stable. It was me, Erica, and Nick for the entirety of the band. We had Reba was the original drummer from 2010 until 2014, and then we had Dart from Hexlust.
Yeah,
he played with us for about a year, and then he couldn't do the recording. More or less. So we got Kevin just to do the recording. Kevin was never officially in the band. He just helped us out on that recording. We spent all of 2016 recording for that, 2017 recording the album, and after that, we pretty much ceased operations. And after that ended, I went on to Morbosidad, and Nick went on to Imprecation. So we kind of forked.
Yeah. So when were you active in Plutonian Shore? You were still in like double dutying it, right?
Yeah,
You're in both bands. Okay.
I joined Plutonian Shore in July of 2012. I actually did some backing vocals on Lunar Rights before that, but at the time, that was just as a friend of the band. I had not actually joined on bass yet. So even though I'm on Lunar in a very limited capacity, I was not actually a member of the band, so that's not me on bass. However, I was on bass for the Rotting Christ cover on Alchemical Manifestations, which was in 2012, and I think the live songs too. And then everything after that was me on bass, up until the recent reactivation by Zeus.
Now, who in Plutonian, was it Zeus that came to you to offer you the slot, or how did that work out?
I think if I remember right, they parted ways with Chris /War. And I think I may have offered to fill in, and then it was like, wait, what am I doing? I'm just going to join this band. Like, I'm not letting that slip away.
Yeah, I liked the whole Nick and you and everybody in Plutonian
That
Shore.
was a great lineup.
Brian and everything. And
well, Brian wasn't in the band at the same time as Nick. Nick and David.
Oh, that's right.
David was an amazing drummer. David is incredible. That dude, right feel, but he's also got enough esoteric influences to really not just be like a blaster. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he definitely was able to craft a bunch of magic, so to speak, on the drums.
Yeah.
Really, really good drummer. That lineup only recorded the Alpha et Omega EP, which I'm still very, very, very proud of. We actually recorded that EP live in Zeus's living room. No overdubs, no punching in, nothing. We just
went at it. Yeah.
Yep. The only thing we did after the fact was vocals, but even on a live album, you're never doing the vocals.
No, yeah.
And those songs, I didn't listen to it for a long time just because, we recorded it, it was out there, and then I just didn't jam it for a while. And then every time I listened to it, I'm like, how did we do this as a live band? There's like 15 riffs in these songs. They're all over the place in the best way. Like Zeus and Nick were flying on the fretboard. I was playing some of the trickiest bass lines of my entire, career. Like, and Dave was just firing on all cylinders. Like, I think it's the song that we're gonna play that I sent up where he has that kind of mini drum solo in the middle of the song. It's like, yeah, that lineup. That lineup was on fire.
Let's take a jam. Let's jam it out. Let's jam some Plutonian Shore, and we'll come back and talk about it, because I love Plutonian Shore. I thought they were one of San Antonio's best black metal bands that ever existed. Here we go.
Gracias.
Restless waves, yes, through the
All right, there you go. Plutonian.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're there. Plutonian
okay, cool.
Shore, dude. So yeah, one of San Antonio's best fucking black metal bands, maybe the best. Who knows? Really good shit. Zeus was a really I shouldn't say was. Zeus is a really good songwriter, and he really has a good feel for black metal. That's why when I first heard him, I was like, damn, this dude gets it.
Yeah, I actually just heard from him the other day. I hadn't talked to him in like 6 years. Oh wait, do I have an echo?
No, not on my end.
Might just be the headphones. If the echo's distracting, just let me know. Yeah, he's doing well. I just heard from him out of the blue. It was really good to hear from him.
Yeah, and we chat every once in a while through Messenger. Seems like now, what's this about? What do you know about him reactivating Plutonian, or he's working on it? What do you know?
I just know that he's got like a bunch of new stuff coming. I'm not sure if the drums are programmed, but as far as I know, he's just reactivated as like a one-man thing, which is fine.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
has my full support. He's doing really, maybe not avant-garde is not the right word for it, but he's doing really out there stuff.
Yeah. Well, good shit there, and you guys had a good run. I remember playing a lot of shows with you guys
Played
too.
a lot of fucking shows.
We played a lot.
Probably couldn't have hurt us to turn down a show every once in a while, but we had fun.
I think you guys played more than Hod at one point.
No, definitely. No, I don't think we played that much. Hod definitely. I've definitely seen Hod.
You guys were
any other band.
I would say Plutonian played more than Hod at one point. I think there was like a 3 month straight. It was like seemed like it was every weekend. You guys were playing somewhere. Yeah. So we need to find out. We're gonna have to do some research on that later, Jake.
Johnny can fact check us on this.
Yeah, Johnny usually is my.
Johnny's the one.
Yeah, he's my
it was really good to hear.
Metal Wikipedia Zeus. Here. Yeah, Zeus rules. I hope he whenever he gets out of the service, I hope he moves back to SA. I'll hit him up to jam again.
Oh yeah.
Well, do it, damn it. So yeah, great guy, great band. So pretty much when I guess he joins Hod, and I guess it seems like Plutonian was this kind of put on the back burner when he.
What year was that he joined Hod?
Oh man, was it like around 2016? No, 2014.
Because he was on bass. Yeah, because TA went to Goathor, and then he replaced.
Yeah, TA told us 2 weeks before our big show. Oh, I'm going to Goathor, fucker.
Plutonian had already split temporarily by then because Brian quit, so we were basically done for like 6 or 7 months, and then at the tail end of 2014, we restarted. I don't think him joining Hod didn't have anything to do with it, if I remember right. I think.
No, I don't think so either. I just remember it kind of like slowed down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was only because we were formally broken up for a period of months. But then 2015 we got stupid busy. 2016 we got really busy. Hey, hails to Alter. That Valparaiso show was incredible. Hail to Chile. I love Chile. That was an awesome show with Mystifier. Shout out
Mystifier.
to my older brother Diego, who might just be my clone. What was I saying? Plutonian.
We were talking about the kind of the back burner, then put back on.
2017 was when we were on the back burner. That one, Dave had left to do his solo project, which is awesome. Everybody check out Sarpa, really good band. He plays everything in that band. It's killer.
Okay.
Some kind of avant-garde, but not really, but really good stuff. So we spent 2017 not really doing anything. I had joined Venereal Baptism at the time, so I was playing all over Mexico, and I was busy anyway. And then 2018 rolls around, and Broken Board John, actually, this is funny because we were at a Morbosidad show, me, Zeus, and Nick.
Uh-huh.
We were 2018, and Broken Board John comes up to the three of us, and he's like, dude, I need like a good opener from Mortuary Drape. Like, I got to get you. Can you guys please play like one more show? And we're like, we don't have a drummer, but I mean, if Dave will do it, why not? So I messaged Dave, and he's like, fuck it, I'll do it. So we had one practice with Zeus, and then an extra practice where it's just the three of us because we lived in Austin. Zeus was the only San Antonio one at that point.
Yeah.
Played open for Mortuary Drape, and that actually won. I think it was probably the tightest show Plutonian Shore ever played.
Shit.
And that whole, in case anyone wants to go on my JH channel, that entire set was recorded, not professionally, just phone video. I have the last show that Plutonian Shore ever played. Thanks to Joey for filming that one. That one's on my channel in case anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah, go ahead and plug your channel, dude, so people can go check it out.
It's just my initials. I know, really easy to find, I'm sure. But it's just JH. If you just look up videos for like Churchacide or whatever, like I'm
You
sure
found
you'll
it?
find it.
Yeah.
And then
Cool.
just go through there. I probably should have been a little more creative, but at this point, it's kind of too late to change it. And my initials, kind of my brand at this point, anyway.
So when did sorry, let me put this back on. It's not damn. When did Tomas approach you to work with Morbosidad?
That was in 2019. I wasn't actually. Well, it was either Tomas or Joe. I mean, I think Joe recommended me, and then Tomas formally invited me in 2019. Morbosidad, as we know, is a bit of a revolving door. So whenever there was the bass position open, they hit me up, and the rest is history.
Yeah, well, did you replace Ted?
I did. Actually, I saw Ted last again too.
Ted had a medical issue, so that's why he
Right.
had Ted, because it was a pretty good lineup with Ted, Joe, and Matt, right? Yeah, that was a fucking great lineup as well.
Yeah, I saw many good shows with that lineup. I've seen a lot of Morbosidad lineups.
Did you play with Matt?
Funny, not formally, but my very first practice with Morbosidad was actually Matt.
Okay, I didn't remember or not.
I drove into town for Houston to have a jam with Joe and the ex-drummer, and he wound up not showing up. So Matt just happened to be there for Oath of Cruelty practice, so we ran through like 7 or 8 songs that, it's not like Matt was going to forget the Morbo stuff.
No.
So we just jammed through that, and then that was the only time I've ever been in a room playing music with Matt. But Matt is one of my favorite drummers. Matt, he's just got his own like frantic, like he's like the underground death metal drummer.
Yeah.
Or like as far as we're talking underground shit, he's the underground dude. Like he just has that like super. It's like comparing, maybe stylistic comparisons aren't like super ideal, but he's got that like merciless, like Dave Lombardo, just like thrashing death,
No, I know what you mean. It's just It's always like it sounds like it could just, like Lombardo's always sounds like he could like go off the hinge, but he never does because it's just so intense. Like you go like, damn, dude, is he gonna go off the hinges? And no, he doesn't. You know what I mean? Never does.
Yeah, Matt, I actually just saw. Yeah, again after Hell's Heroes, it's like I've already seen. I keep talking about people I just hung out with last weekend. Oath of Cruelty, as fully expected, completely ripped at the after show at that tavern. And the other thing about Matt, it's not just his technique, it's not just his passion, it's not just his energy. Matt Hefner's drum faces are undefeated. When he's behind the kid, he's like,
yes, yeah, I know what you mean.
the best.
He rules, dude.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you.
Matt fucking rules, dude. Yeah, I saw Francisco live stream a little of that set.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was really cool to see them all just kicking ass out there.
It's like, this is why I love Texas and the underground Texas metal. I saw Oath of fucking Cruelty play in like the backyard of a tavern.
Pretty much,
they completely leveled the fucking place. Shout out Dave, Danny, Spencer, and Matt. Massive respect to Oath of Cruelty.
Oath of Cruelty is kind of a little underrated too, because I told Dave, it reminds me of Angel Corpse meets Pleasure to Kill era's creator.
Perfection,
kind of like just blend that up, and you got Oath of Cruelty, which is fucking awesome, because that's like some.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just it's that like just especially that like that kind of pulsed picking that Dave does. Like it's that total merciless The Awakening, just like too good.
What's this? We'll go down amongst the big
facts,
guys.
Facts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Blaspherian. I mean.
Oh,
shit.
absolutely. Rest in peace, Wes.
Yeah.
Love Blaspherian.
That's probably some of Houston's best death metal ever, along with Imprecation.
If we're talking like post early 90s stuff, I think they're the best. Like, as far as, you have your early 90s stuff, like, Imprecation and all that. But if we're talking stuff that came afterward, it's like Blaspherian is just all the way up here.
Yeah. And so, Wes's guitar tone, dude, fucking rules.
I'm not going to give it away, but I know exactly what it is. That's an H-Town secret.
Yeah, that's a deadly secret, too.
I know what it is.
It fucking rules. All right, so you get the offer you're on. All right, now I'm in Morbosidad. So you go from, playing some kick-ass shows to, like, now you're going to be fucking be playing headlining shows, probably on big shows, or playing opening for big shows. So what was it like to, take that jump from, going to, Morbosa adds a bigger band, right? We all know this. They go all over the world. What was that like?
As far as how to professionally handle it, it didn't actually feel that much different. One of the nice things about basically growing up as a musician in Morgengrau is you really learned how to have your shit together as a musician. Erica basically single-handedly taught me and Nick how to be like professional musicians, not in terms of the monetary sense, because we all know there's no actual money in death metal,
yeah.
but just in terms of like having your shit together, learning the songs, showing up on time, having your gear in order, being a professional on stage, not being a jackass. So just undergoing that tutelage, I guess, that training, that by the time I got to a band like Morbosidad, it was a pretty natural transition. It was just like, fuck yeah, I'm just, playing in, Chile and Berlin and, just using what I had learned from when I was just, a wee lad.
There you go. So, what are some of your favorite shows that you did Morbo so far?
Finland is always awesome. I love playing in Finland. Like, Finland, in my opinion, is one of the most metal countries on earth. Probably not a super hot take, but it is. The most recent one with Beharit, I mean, what else can you say? Direct support for Beharit in Finland. Oh,
that's pretty badass, right?
Incredible. It was right, because it's Beharit, so they're gonna have some ambient stuff in the, for intros and like interludes. And
sure, yeah.
It started with like 5 minutes of ambient dark keyboard music, and then once like Solomon's Gate started, I was just like, that was awesome.
I think that's pretty awesome because I remember seeing Jake. He was just a little dude, just coming out to shows, hanging out, getting in the mosh pit, cutting his teeth, as they say.
I'm too old for the moshing these days.
Yeah, but you were not back then. You weren't, and to see you, take that, and then now you're over here, getting the big shows, going up. That's fucking awesome, dude. Congrats on that.
Oh, thank you. And obviously, South America is awesome. I love South and Central America too. Like salutes to the maniacs of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala. They are some of the most absolutely diehard metal fans. It really goes beyond even just fandom. Like that level of devotion. I wouldn't use the term religion for obvious reasons. I play in Churchacide. Hey, brother, that was a killer set too. Thanks, Nick. But those Central America, that devotion is like completely just insane in the best possible way. Brazil was awesome too, because not only did we play with Blasphemy, I played Blasphemy a bunch of times, but we got to watch them rehearse in just like a jam room. And I know that
that's cool.
Yeah. Running thing with Blasphemy is like, they're all sitting on the couch jamming, chilling. But for me and Zeke were actually sitting on a couch in just some underground room at this place in Brazil, Sao Paulo, and we're watching the Gods of War run through every 45-minute set right in 2 feet away from me. Like Black Winds was like, at one point he would just sit down on the side of the couch and make conversation with me while they're running through like Fallen Angel of Doom or whatever. I'm just like, it's one of those moments where it's like, this is my life now. That's a point B.
That's a surreal moment when things like that happen, because when Hod went up to play a long time ago with Incantation, and it was like a reunion, pretty much almost. Had Craig Pillard on vocals.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, yeah.
We were at what's the drummer's name?
That doesn't narrow Incantation. That doesn't narrow it down.
No, the original drummer.
The
one that jams with Chris now.
Jim Rowe.
Jim Rowe. We were at Jim Rowe's house. Sorry, I fucking blink. Every time I get on here, I blink.
It's incantation. You can't keep track of the members.
Yeah, but it was like Jim Rowe, McEntee, Alex Books. That was Chuck. Yeah, I think Chuck was playing bass. And yeah, they were practicing at their house, and we were having a barbecue too. So,
as one does in Texas.
Oh no, this was in up in New Jersey or Rhode Island.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was New Jersey we were at up there. And no, Philly? Shit, I forget.
One of those.
Yeah, we played Jersey, New York, and what was the other one? Fuck. Some small state like Texas. No, the one even smaller. Not Rhode Island. Delaware. We played some club in Delaware with hardcore bands. It was odd. Anyway, yeah, I know that's a surreal feeling when you're like hearing this like fucking music that you're like fucking shit. I'm hearing these guys rehearse this shit now. What the fuck? This is crazy. But it's a great feeling too. Like, damn. Me and Link looked at each other like, oh yeah, we're checking out the original Incan jams. This is great. Fucking cool. So I can kind of relate to what you're saying. It's just like, wow, that's it's like that's cool, man.
And then the first Nuclear War. Well, not the first. Oh wait, that was like the second. The Nuclear War Now Fest in Tijuana, which was the first time I played with Blasphemy. There was just something about that fest that like, I think because we played on Saturday, which was the same day as Blasphemy, Revenge, Diocletian, Black Witchery. I have the poster over there somewhere. I think Siege Column played too. Awesome. But yeah, like that I think it was just something in the energy, like where it was like, these are my people, this underground bestial war, black death metal, whatever scene that like I've been going to shows for like these last 15 years, and now it's like, I'm actually playing with these people. It's like fucking Blasphemy. What else can you say,
Yeah. That's pretty badass. That's the cream of the crop in the war metal world. Yeah, it was Blasphemy. What more can beat that? So I was in like a trance for the first like 25 minutes of the set, and the only thing that ripped me out of that trance was someone was getting crowd surfed over to the stage, and obviously Blasphemy aren't really super down with that. So Big Rob, their problem solver security guy, just goes out and he just finger wags, and the guy gets crowd surfed back towards the right.
That kind of snapped me out of the trance. I was like, holy shout out Big Rob. Fucking
damn.
Awesome dude.
That sounds pretty fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, he's hilarious. Like whenever we play with Blasphemy, my real favorite part is hanging out with Big Rob.
That's awesome. You got well, you know what? Before we jump ahead, let's listen to some Morbo. What do you say?
Yeah.
This is an actual recording with you on it, correct?
Yep.
Obviously.
This is one I wrote. Well, the music anyway.
Yeah, I want to talk about that when we get back. That you're writing.
Yeah.
For them too. All right, let me find it.
Zeke's on guitar and me on bass. Tomas on vocals. That's all you need to know.
That's all we need to know. Okay, here we go. Queuing up now. Take it.
Clemencia cerdo, cargando tu marca cruz.
right, there you go. So tell us about that song.
That is Maltrecha Cruz. As is tradition, Tomas writes all the lyrics. He arranges all the vocals. Yeah, that was just a song that we had to come up with 2 tracks for a split with Putrid from Peru. Shout out those guys.
That's it.
We had to come up with them very quickly. Long story short, but I always have I'm able to write pretty quickly and arrange. So we knocked those out. Actually, it was Alex from the old Austin band ID, if any of you guys remember them, who recorded. He just came over to Houston, did the tracking. Really great bass player, really good dude. It was good to see him again. But yeah, we just knocked him out. We went over to Tomas's. No, wait, Tomas actually. We had a show in Houston the next month, so Tomas, we just recorded him in the practice space. He laid down his evil yells in Spanish, and then we sent that off. And also, I'll bring up on that split, there's an intro and an outro, as is Morbo tradition. Before, some of the Morbosidad intros were either kind of, just low atmospheric, maybe like synth noises or like maybe a movie sample or something like that. I've sort of taken over making the intros. The way that I do my intros is kind of more influenced by power electronics like Death Bile, Brighter Death Now, just really chaos, like noisy chaos stuff. Yep. Shout out Sick Nick. I remember that. I remember Grieved. Yeah, Grieved was good. So I think the idea with Morbosidad is like I want the intros and outros to be just as violent as the music. So if you go to just look up on YouTube, not you, Carl, but just specifically the chat. At some point, you guys want to look up the stuff that I've done with Morbosidad. Just look up the Jesus Vagina split with. Did we lag out?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Oh shit!
Okay, you're back. Yeah, there you go.
Check.
You're good. Yeah,
okay.
now, yeah.
So the point is, I wanted violent intros and violent outros to match the violent music. I think my initial foray into that was hearing the interludes on the Cut Your Flesh and Worship Satan album by Antaeus, because
those are some of the best. Yeah.
That and I assume I'd have to talk with MKM myself, but I assume that comes from like Brighter Death Now, because I've seen him wearing like Brighter Death Now shirts on stage and shit. So yeah. So point is, we knocked out that. I did the intro.
Jake. Okay. Talk.
Hey, check.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Like,
that was weird. Because
yeah,
that's not my sound is coming in clear. Weird. Yeah, I'll just keep grinding until something shuts me down. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so new Morbo stuff. Yeah. So Riding Like a Madman. We are going to be doing a couple of songs for another split. We're also working on a new album. The fun never, the grinding never stops.
Yeah, because not only are you doing Morbosidad, you started another project called Churchacide.
Correct.
So let's we kind of got we'll do all the show updates and all that soon, but let's keep going down the timeline. When did you decide to start up Churchacide, and why?
That was very late 2016. The name actually came to me before anything else. I was at a show and decided it was just the most vulgar, grammatically incorrect Latin name I could think of. So I was actually at said show, and then I just bolted home as quickly as possible, wrote out the first 4 songs in one night. The initial vision was kind of more like Profanatica and Demoncy, as far as just that low tune, disgusting death metal. Not death metal, but like black death metal.
Sure.
And then over time, it kind of just mutated into my own amalgamation of influences, where it's kind of like if SOD, like detuned all the way to B, had a bunch of Morbid Angel guitar solos, but also was influenced by Impaled Nazarene and Aversifera. So it's kind of just a mishmash, which is, that I don't like to box myself in too much.
Well, look at this. The Stallion says Churchacide is in regular rotation for me.
Cheers, Megan. I appreciate that.
That's
I'm also
cool.
aware of the increase in my talking speed. You can thank the monster for this one. I'm
it's jacking you up.
I mean, fast music, fast talking. I got like 30 bands to cover, so slow talking ain't gonna do it.
You better not say fast women, though. You're gonna get yourself in trouble.
No, don't get me in trouble.
Zeke's will come in and. So, when you started Churchacide, how did you decide who was going to be in the band, or did you already have a vision like who you wanted to be, or
I pretty
how did
much
that?
immediately knew that DA, as he goes by his initials, had to be the drummer because he has that like really like early Slaughter and Venom, Hellhammer. He can play fast, but it's still like that manic style. Someone too clean wouldn't totally work for this band. It has to be that basically like Vomiter, where it's like just pummeling necro drums.
That makes sense.
At the time, I was like, hey, I write the music, let me play guitar. And then Zeke was originally the bass player. And then we got through like one rehearsal demo of that, and I'm like, wait, I fucking hate playing guitar. So we just switched.
Yeah.
Obviously, Zeke is miles ahead of me on guitar in every aspect, so I just switched back to my natural home on bass.
All right, so when did you decide to get Keith in the band?
For a long time, I had wanted to just like at least try having one band where I just wanted to sing.
Uh-huh.
And Keith is one of the only bass players I trust to be my bass player. So
Good point.
I don't remember the exact conversation. We played one show as a 3-piece where it was me, Zeke, and DA. And then I asked Keith if he wanted to be the live bass player. Important distinction. I still record all the bass.
Yeah. Okay.
Mostly just out of convenience. But, and then we had the 4-piece for, I think, 3 shows. And then we got Joey on second guitar. Because I think at that point, we were just like full-on Slayer, Morbid Angel. Let's just rip through as many disgusting whammy leads. And
Joey's a really good guitarist, too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely, as far as his influences go, he's more into more technical stuff. Confuses my bassist caveman brain, but he knows with Church to like keep it primal and bestial and just ugly.
Yeah. So I'm sure sometimes it's hard for them guys to dumb down to the levels that we go to sometimes. The super raw, just not theory, just it's about attack, right? At least that's how I see it. Yeah.
Just primal aggression.
Yeah. Yep. All right, did you sent me a Churchacide song? Yeah, here we go.
I
Let's
think it's
play
Rebel Berserkers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one too. All right, here we go. Some Churchacide. Let's check out. And if you see Churchacide live, Jake is strictly the front man. He is not playing an instrument. And he does a good job. Most of the time. Yeah, let me cover your butt there. There you go. All right. All right, dude, that fucking rules.
I didn't even have time to read all of the comments because our songs are generally very short.
Short attacks of fucking chaos.
That comes from like Hyrax and SOD, Nuclear Assault. Like anytime you hear me write a song that's like a minute or so, It either comes from the song Destroy by Hyrax, which is actually the second song I ever learned on bass. Fuck the Middle East by SOD. Hang the Pope by Nuclear Assault. Just the super fast, like straight to the point.
Yeah.
No fat on the songs at all. Just blinking it over.
All meat.
Yeah,
no fat. Yeah, I like that. And that is also out on Goat Throne Records. Both your albums are on Goat Throne, correct?
No, actually, Aaron only did the Unassailable Temptations EP that came out in 2024.
Why do I think the first one's on the Goat Throne?
Aaron stocked our stuff forever.
Maybe I ordered it from him.
Yeah. He stocks our stuff. Many hails and.
So it was self-released, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were self-released until 2024.
Okay. So, but you can get all your stuff at the Goat Throne, right? Aaron, you still got it in stock?
If he's got any in stock, we've been out of print for pretty much ever, except for that latest EP.
Okay, so what's up? So that what we heard was from the first album.
No, that was the EP that we did after the first. We already have like.
Oh, wait, I'm confused. I
we
thought
already got like 7 releases at this point.
Yeah, I only think there's 2 albums. Where are all these other? All right, tell me these releases, dude. I'm way off.
The chronology is as. Good thing I brought my discography box.
There you go, because
Okay.
I thought you guys just had the 2 releases.
No, we got like 6 of them. Okay, so
I'm terrible.
here, these are the cards I have drawn. So here's the very cult and necro rehearsal demo.
I'm gonna put you solo so people can see it. Let me
Okay.
do some
wait.
readjusting here.
Oh wait, till I'm solo. Okay, this is our very cult and necro rehearsal demo. I was on guitar for this. I don't like playing guitar. This is the Bio-Soaked Blades demo that we did. This was when Keith started recording us. There's us. This is the 4-piece on the back. If you've seen the video for Gimme the Blade, that's where this one comes from. Then we unleash our debut full-length album, Subversive Declarations.
Okay, now I remember that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have that. Yeah.
This was the first album. And to
Okay.
date, the only full-length we've done, because when the pandemic hit, we're like, there's no point in doing a full-length for a while. Let's just do EPs and splits and bite-sized releases, which also works for me because my attention span is very short. This is the EP. This is Abhorrent Others, which was released in 2020. That's the one that you just heard. Rebel Berserkers is the opening track. Then we did the split with my brother Tony in Plague Swarm. Shout out Tony.
Okay, I have that. Yeah, okay.
Also-
Now it's coming back to me.
Also of Trench Warfare, but so we did that split. This was the last self-release that we did, entitled Eschatological Retaliation. And last but not least, this is the first release on Goat Throne Records, Unassailable Temptations, which is an EP consisting of, how many are? 8 songs, along with the Vor cover No Title, which is a band that is very, very dear to my heart. The first demo band I ever heard was Vor, V-O-O-R, from Canada.
Evil Metal.
Yep.
Yep.
That was my first tattoo, too.
Oh, no shit?
Yep. I didn't get
know that.
tattoos till I was like 24 because money. We are almost finished recording our second full-length album. It's going to be about 35 minutes. We're just waiting on Zeke and Joey to do the solos. We've been slammed with all of our other bands, but that'll get done, this year. I need to holler at Kennett to do the artwork, as that's another important distinction. Total support to our brother Joe Kennett, who did the artwork for this.
Yeah, that's nice art. Very cool.
If you've seen the cover for Aversifera's Tetragrammatical Astigmata, that's Joe. That's not actually John Zig, another artist that we heartily support. Good dude.
He did my tattoos.
Yep. Shout out Zig. But that artwork is misattributed to him a lot. As far as I'm aware, that was actually Joe Kennett. So shout out Joe. I don't know if you're watching this, but excellent artist. We'll be in touch.
All right, so boom. That's the Churchacide update, we should say, and run
Discography
through.
thus far.
Yes. Churchacide rules. I do dig it, dude. I get a bestial warfare vibe from it, too.
Bestial Warlust?
Did I say bestial warfare? Yeah,
Bestial
I did
warfare.
say. Yeah, bestial warlust. Or is it bestial warlust?
We get a lot of sadistic execution comparisons too, which is great. I love Sadex, but at the same time, I don't know how one would write like sadistic execution without completely being insane. So, thanks. But,
No, I kind of see it. There's that kind of chaos there and there for sure.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
how does one? It's like writing like Nuclear Death. How does one emulate one of the most fucked up and depraved bands of all time?
Yeah, that's just either you got that going on up here or you don't. It's just crazy. Oh shit! Someone sent a super chat. Oh, Matt, look at Matt. Sent $20 through. Thanks, Matt. Fucking rule, bro. Appreciate that. Matt's a great supporter of the whole. We call it the Joe Avaverse. He's always on all the channels.
Shouts and hails.
But no, is it
Wallace, you fucking cunts?
Bestial or Bestial?
I think they said Bestial over there.
Bestial. I'll have to ask Damon. For years I always said Bestial Warlust. That's how I.
Well, that's how we'd pronounce it. I don't know how the Strayans. We were hanging out with a bunch of Strayans last weekend, but I don't know. I don't remember how they pronounce Bestial Warlust.
Hey Lee, are you in the chat? Tell us. Lee from Warhammer. He's from Australia. What the?
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Let me see. We got one more band to play here, don't we, for you?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. I condensed it to 5 because otherwise we'd be here all day.
Yeah, I used to do those 5-hour shows. That's a no anymore. I am doing that shit no more. So, Wormbold, right? I said it right.
Yep.
All right.
Wormbold.
Now this shit's pretty killer, and I ordered it when Aaron had it. I think in stock. I got it. I really like it. Now tell me more about it.
Well, that's all Zeke's thing. I just play bass. I play bass, and I just did like a couple of backing vocals. But she's writing from that like really like kind of like think like, as far as I'm aware, like manic Necrovore meets Voivod on acid, just deranged chaos metal.
Now, are you gonna? I see Angel Corpse in it. Do you see it?
Yeah, there's definitely some. I feel like a band like Angel Corpse always kind of seeps into whatever we're doing.
You know, the cool thing about Zeke is she progressed on guitar really fast. Like,
yeah, she was practicing.
She fucking
hours a night.
Went from, a beginner to like, fronting fucking bands now. That's fucking really cool, dude. That's like, but I know how you guys are. You're all like, you get focused and you just fucking go at it, right?
No sense half-assing anything. And some good news for Wormbold people who are paying attention is we have stuff that's recorded already. That's going to be for a split with a very, very, not only good friends, but also very good band from Paraguay. That'll be revealed at some point.
All right.
And then we are also, the current plan is to play live before the end of the year. And we do have a killer live drummer and live guitar player. It's not hard to figure out who if you're familiar with all of us. But we keep a tight circle, hint, hint. So stay tuned for that.
And you just got it put out on cassette by Headsplit, correct?
Did that come out yet? I know he physically received it. I don't know if it's up.
I don't know. I'll promote that it is.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Tape edition. If it's not coming out, if it's not already out on Headsplit, it's going to be out like really, really soon. Dylan has physically received the tapes, as I know.
Yeah, I saw. He posted a picture, right, of the box.
Shout out Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan rules. He supports a lot of underground shit, man, with Headsplit. All right, let's play a jam from Wormbold, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
All right, dude. That's fucking so intense. It's so good, dude.
That's all Zeke. Like I said, I just play bass.
Yeah. So she wrote all the music, the lyrics, and all that.
Yep. It's kind of like so Churchacide is more or less my vision. Wormbold is her vision. And then several other projects are more of a collaboration. But like Wormbold is more or less all Zeke. Churchacide is more or less all me. And then varying other degrees of collaboration for other projects.
Yeah. How about a Churchacide Wormbold show? Could
That's
that
not
happen?
impossible. We just have to get Wormbold up to speed with the live lineup.
Yeah. There you go. I would like to see that. Back to back too. Just stop
yeah.
one band and another band starts that fucking rip.
I'm
So,
no stranger to double duty.
I've done it a couple of times, and I prefer to avoid it if I can. But you guys are like, a little younger. You can do it. Shit, Megan said she'd fly down for that one, dude.
Appreciate it.
Nah, not in Houston, because Houston always gets the shows. So we need to bring some more shows back to San Antonio. Damn it. We're the heavy metal capital. All right, let's see what you got going here. Let me pull these up. All right, let's talk about. You sent me this, so what's going on here?
So I am playing a couple of shows, filling in as a bass player for my good friends in Horror Bethlehem. They're the logo off to the left there. I am their regular bass player. Alan is only going to be on the Haltom City date. I'm going to be playing the Austin date at Come and Take It Live. I'm going to be playing the Corpus Christi date at Boozers. I'm going to be playing the Houston date at this Pub 529 place. Not familiar with it, but should be a good time. I mean, Houston always rules. And that's like more brutal, but not like full-on brutal. There's still lots of like more traditional black and death metal sound in it. That's with Sam on drums, who has been Morbosidad's drummer since I think June.
And is Sam? He's in Trench, right? Trench Warfare.
Just alive. He just plays for.
Oh,
them
for
now.
live. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Dennis, the hot drummer, used to be in Horror Bethlehem. So
Was
go
he?
figure. Yeah, he was at one point.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Renee.
What's that?
I think you're thinking of Renee. I don't think Dennis was ever with them. I could be wrong, but I don't.
It was some Austin band that I thought maybe Dennis. Let me know, or Johnny. I could have sworn he was in that. He was in some Austin band at one point when he was in HOD. I thought it was Horror. All right. So what's going on here? This looks pretty rowdy.
So this is a live album I think it's already in production. If not in production, then the label already has everything, and those wheels should be in motion. This is a pro live audio and DVD recording of the show that we just played in Turku, Finland.
Oh shit! Badass, dude.
As such, this is Sam's first recording with us, but it will not be the last. Yeah, it came out killer. Like they sent us like the full like DVD layout. It's like pro shot, multiple angles, pro audio from the soundboard. Really good. I think it's just going to be a digipack for now. I think the idea is like you open the digipack and one side is the CD, the other side is the DVD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Morbo hasn't done a live album since, I think, Brazil, which was like 5 lineups ago. So it's really good to get this particular lineup for this particular show forever immortalized in recorded form.
Very cool. And here's something that's going to be pretty fucking awesome, I say.
Yep. That's the next show Morbosidad's playing. That's Beharit, Imprecation, Unholier, and True Iron Will. I mean, if you're not going, I don't know what to fucking tell you. It doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you're not at least interested in the show, you might have to like reevaluate your metal priorities.
If you're not interested in this show, you might.
I don't know what
watching this show. Yeah, because
you just want to hear my voice, which is fine. But
Beharit, Imprecation, Morbosidad, Unholier, and True Iron Will. At the White Oak Music Hall, so that's going to be good sound. So it's going to.
Well, the downstairs, yes. What's the word I'm looking for? Outdoor sound was no comment.
Oh no! I knew.
Indoors, downstairs, it's going to be really good.
Indoors going to be killer. Yeah, that's
especially with Beharit, like the atmosphere is going to be perfect. I think there's only. I think I saw Yosuke post on Instagram. There's only like 60 tickets available left for this, so get them now. I'm not just saying that because I'm playing.
Yes, I mean you might think, oh, I got plenty of time, but it's gonna sell out, obviously.
I think basically every show other than Chicago and this show are sold out.
Yeah.
And this one's it's rapidly approaching.
And then what's this
like,
about?
This is stupidly far in advance, but this is Valentine's Day 2026. Morbosidad goes back to Mexico City along with a whole bunch of Austin bands at this fest that the label that's doing the Finland live album. They're putting on this festival. We're headlining. We're also going to be doing a few other dates around that weekend, just like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you're in Mexico City or the surrounding areas, make sure to come out. Mexico City is always a rowdy time.
Mm-hmm. Haven't been to Mexico City, but I've been to Mexico, and it's always fucking crazy.
I love Mexico. Like I was, because even before Morbosidad, when I was in venereal baptism, like we were going to Mexico all the time. Like I think I've played in 13, it's like 12 or 13 Mexico cities. Let me see if I can count them. If you played any of these, hails. Nuevo Laredo, Tijuana, Monterrey, San Luis Potosí, Ciudad Mexico, Irapuato, León, what was the real? Oh, Reynosa. Did I say Tijuana? I'll say Tijuana. Saltillo. I love Saltillo. Saltillo is a beautiful city. The mountains down there, incredible. Torreon. Cuernavaca, and what was the very last one? Querétaro. I love Querétaro. Shout out to my friends in Querétaro. I think that's it. I think that's like 13 cities.
Yeah, you got me beat. I think I just played Monterey, San Luis.
Shout out Monterey. That was the show where I almost lost my fingers to a ceiling fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they don't have like those pussified American plastic fans down in the hostel we stayed at. Shout out Germany. I love playing Berlin.
Yeah, this dude rules, Vasily. He's a old school, but knows his shit to the modern time. Has a great zine.
Okay.
Ancient Spirit Terror. He rules. What's up, Vasily?
So anyway, I was going to make my bed in the hostel, and the fan was like, spinning. So whenever I went to make my bed, it like sliced my fingers, like the index and thumb, and I just started gushing blood. But I'm thinking, if I can't drink the water down here, I probably shouldn't rub an open wound in it. So I kind of just, while it's gushing blood, wiped it down on my pants. And then the next day, I actually did the exact same thing, but I was putting on my vest, and it got me clean across Hales. It got me clean across, I can't do it because I'm holding the mic, but it got me across all of my knuckles. You can't see it on my webcam audio, but I still have the scars from where it just cut super fucking deep onto my fingers.
No shit, dude.
You might be able to see this scar. The first time I played Headhunters, if any of you guys remember Headhunters, that's some like early,
There we go. Let's see if we can see.
I took a Jackson headstock, my old black metal band, the one that predated Plutonian. I took a Jackson headstock to my eyelid. Let me know if you can see this. Okay, no, you can't see that.
Nah.
And in anything other than a shitty webcam visual, I have a clean line right across that eyelid from that Jackson headstock that sliced my eye wide open. And I was wearing corpse paint at the time, so I basically gave myself a prison tat until it washed out like 5 or 6 years later.
Yeah.
That was when I was in Humut Tabal, if any of you guys remember that. But
I remember that band.
That was a long time. I joined that band in like March of 2011, and I was out a year later.
Yeah.
No bad blood or anything, but
that should happen.
That was just a long, long time ago.
When I was in Thornspawn, Mike, bass player Mike Pallone, he played a BC Rich with the pointy headstock, and he would always sling it around. Well, he swung it around right into my freaking eye too. Gave me a black eye, man.
This is actually a very good segue to discuss the arsenal behind me.
Yeah, let's talk about
the
basses.
That would come up. So the disclosure, that's very true, Johnny. We spike ourselves. Shout out Keith. So where to begin?
Keith, yeah.
So this, full disclosure, this isn't all of my bases. I have like 3 or 4 of them kind of back there. This one was one that I used in trench warfare, and as such, it hasn't really been used much.
I'm gonna
lately.
solo you again, dude, so we can get good
Cool.
views.
So this is my Trace Warbeast base. The camera doesn't really do it justice. This thing is fucking giant. I have the Running Wild sticker on it because Running Wild fucking rules. I don't care about needing to be overly cult for this one. That one, yeah, I only used that one in trench warfare, and I haven't recorded with it yet, but definitely going to hang on to it because it's a sick axe. This one, you've probably seen me, if you've seen me in San Antonio with Morbosidad, you've definitely seen me play this. This is my Virgo. I got this on Reverb during the pandemic when people were really offloading stuff. I played this in Finland, bunch of places in the U.S., and cool part is if you spin it around, put a bunch of stickers on it. So I got Hexea, Goat Smegma, shout out Tony, Guatemalan flag, Finland flag, German flag, Infestation of Evil sticker, shout out the El Paso Amigos, DTP, Death to Posers.
Fuck yeah.
I think I've done some recording with it, but nothing. I think the only one song is out yet, which is the Morbo song that came out on that compilation. Yep, Trace Warbeast, that's what's up. I got this one that I think I've only played in El Paso. This is my Warlock. I bought this because I need a base that I can kind of, a little cheaper base that I can bring on flyouts. Got the Wormbold sticker on it. I just smacked that light. Occupational hazards when you play BC Rich. But I think I've only played this at that one show. I need to get Keith to like set this, like formally set that one up. So Keith, if you're watching, remind me to bring that next time. Now here, the last of the BC Riches, and easily, let me make sure I don't.
Yeah. You don't want that to fall.
Okay.
Make sure.
This is the best musical investment I have ever made. Is my 5-string. If you don't like 5 strings, I don't give a fuck. It gets shit done. So it has the Antaeus sticker on it, covered in my own blood from various stage injuries. This is the most reliable bass guitar I have ever played. It's a neck through, if you care about that fancy shit.
Yes, I do.
Yep. For me, it's like, yeah, if it looks cool, it's whatever. I'm not a snob about that at all.
I am. I like neck throughs.
But, yeah, this has been on like 20-something, maybe not 20, but at least 15 recordings. Oh, Antaeus is one of my biggest influences. Massive fan of Antaeus. I fucking love it. And this bass is also extremely important to me for another reason. Let me see if I can... Because on the very back, I glued... Kind of hard to see, but Derek Rivers gave me a pick years ago before he passed away.
Oh, fuck. Badass.
I glued that. I Gorilla Glued this to the back, so now it will never fall off. I always have a little bit of Derek jamming along with me. And that one's been on a million fucking things. That was on the, let me just look at the box. Second Venereal Baptism album, everything Churchicide's ever recorded. Those 2 albums from that band I'm not going to talk about. Every Abyss of Perdition. A bunch of like, oh yeah, all my Doom stuff I recorded with that. Wormbold, that Wraith Sabbath EP that I sessioned on. And then here's a very uncult one, but nonetheless, I love this thing. This is my fretless bass. This is just like a basic Ibanez fretless. If you're seeing something that looks like frets, these are just fret liners. They're not actually frets. They're just to help people like me who are kind of new to fretless to know where you are, but they're not actually frets. I got this after a conversation with Damon Good from Stargazer, who was also in Martyr. Martyr fucking rules.
Oh yeah, dude.
If anyone in this chat loves Necrovore and like, the aforementioned Wormbold and all that, you're gonna love Martyr. Look them up. So I was talking with him after Nuclear War Nowfest in Berlin, or whatever it was called. And I was like, yeah, man, I've always wanted to buy a fretless. And hey, what's up, Occultus? Good seeing you again. It's been a while. And I was like, yeah, man, I've always wanted that. And he's like, so get one. I'm like, I can't argue with that. So I ordered it from Sweetwater like a week later. And one last instrument I will show, in case anyone
you got more. Wait, there's more. Hold on.
Redneck roots. I have the family heirloom banjo. Can't play it for shit. Rest in peace, Derek. All day.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, this was, I believe, my great grandfather's, if I remember correctly. I don't really listen to music that has banjo in it, so I can't really play it. I mean, I can play like Morbosidad songs on it, like you're playing a bass, but I can't actually play a banjo like you're supposed to play a banjo because I don't really listen to any banjo music, so I can't really. There's only so much I can learn a type of music if I'm not actually in the
What is it
trenches
that
jamming it.
Take, right? Don't they have some banjo in their song?
Yeah. Well, that was a dumb use of a banjo. That I know that, like, I've seen him do that live. I actually opened for Toke in 2016 in another band, but it just sticks out of fucking nowhere. I do not actually like that usage of a banjo. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. It almost feels like they just threw that in there because, hey,
why
what
not?
This wacky shit. And I don't know. I don't vibe with it. But if it's just like more some, mellow, like, banjo rolls that I can't do, yeah, I'll jam it. Yep. Real recognized real, Noelia. Hails for family heirloom banjos. I also have, I can't play worth of shit, but I have a keyboard that's over there. Again, that's actually my mom's. She used to use it just to, jam out on, just mellow chords and stuff. I didn't come from a musical household at all. Like,
no shit?
No, not a. My mom sang in the church choir, and we had like this old beat to shit acoustic guitar that probably hadn't had the strings changed on it since Carter. But no, I didn't come from any serious musical background, which is funny.
My dad played guitar, so I think I got a little of that from him.
None of that in the slightest. Like, it's funny because if you know my brother Rafe, actually, he veered off in a completely different direction. He's more into like hardcore emo MySpace music, but he had his own band that toured like a ton too. I have a younger brother. He toured a ton, and then I did my thing. So it's kind of funny how even though we didn't come from a musical background, both of us kind of split off and diverged into two completely different musical scenes.
Hey, Noelia, good thing y'all's house is okay. I heard from JD because I don't know if you knew the Rio Grande Valley got pounded yesterday with rain. It's crazy. So, good thing you guys are okay down there. But while we're on the subject of Derek, let's talk about beer and Had. What was your impression of beer?
So the very first time I saw Beer was that show I told you about with TA. And that was the show where Beer actually broke his leg. Beer played that show kind of like with his leg up on like in a cast on like a chair, I think. So rock and roll show must go on.
He actually broke his leg fucking around with Langston. They were like wrestling or something.
Roughhousing?
Yeah, Roughhousing.
Shout out Langston. Yeah, no, I love Beer. Like, Beer was, that man did not give a flying fuck in the best possible way. Like, that dude was rock and roll incarnate.
Yeah, I really do think so. And the reason I brought it up is because they're still doing the GoFundMe for his he's not gonna have a funeral. He's gonna have the celebration of life thing, and it's gonna be in May. So if anybody wants to help out, just look up GoFundMe Beer Reeves. Just Beer and the word Reeves, Beer spelled backwards, Reeves, and you'll find it. If anyone wants to contribute to it, it doesn't have to be a big amount, or it can be. It's whatever you want. But it's just to help to get the family down here and pay for the final expenses and all that. So on that, I'm doing my PSAs right now, everyone. Yeah. Beer, but Beer Reeves. So it's Beer, and then Reeves, Reebs. Or Chris Riddle, his real name. I'm sure you fucking kill me.
The funny thing is, I always thought that was like a really badass rock and roll name, Chris Riddle.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't go with it.
I don't know why you didn't just go with that.
And if anybody else wants to help out Warhammer 666, they had some things come up with their cat. Basically, had to come up with $12,000 out of the blue right away to save their cat, which that's a big chunk of money. So he has a new CD. I believe that's out today. That they're going to use to raise money to help get some of that money back that they had to put up front to save their cat. So if you go to the Warhammer 666 Bandcamp, just order something, and if you want to throw in a couple more bucks for them, that'd be great for them. Lee and his lady are great people, and they deserve the help too. That's the Witching Hour promotions, PSAs, I should say, for the community. So there you go. And Jake, is there anything else you would like to add? I think we covered pretty much everything here.
I could show the discography box.
All right, let's do it. Why not?
I got to put the mic down. This thing's fucking heavy.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
This is every. I didn't play bass on all these because sometimes, like, this includes stuff like. Where's the Black Jackal? This includes stuff like this Black Jackal that I just, did some guest backing vocals on. But I think, like, probably 95% of these I was on as a bass player. Here's the Wormbold. Artwork by Joe Kennett. You can get this. I think we're down to like 2 copies. I think we are very, very low on those.
If you want it, you better jump on it, man.
I think Aaron still has a few. That venereal cover might get me in trouble. Here's the second venereal baptism album that I was on. I wrote some of the lyrics and played.
Were those the ones put out on Osmos?
Yep. The 2 venereal baptism albums were on Osmos Productions, who you may remember from such classics as Angel Corpse, Immortal, Absu, Mystifier, Revenge, Antaeus. 40 million releases were on. So it was a big honor to have played bass on 2 albums on Osmos. I left that band after about a year and a half, but I did play some incredible shows. That was the band that took me to like Mexico for the first. Well, not the first time. The first time was with Plutonian Shore. But yeah, I played all over Mexico. Currently, Alicio, the other guitar player, has been killing it in Sacro Curse, Trenchant, Necroblade. Yeah, I got a lot of love for those guys. I haven't been in the band in a while, but I'm still like Waldo, love Alicio, and Fassi. What else we got in here? Here's the Plutonian Shore shit I was on. Let me see if I got. Where's Sphere? Oh, actually, here's some trivia for you. Here's the very first song I ever played on bass that was commercially released.
Oh, you
and you can't see it for shit.
Tilt it. Oh, look, you can't see it.
Okay, glaring. So just use your imagination. Pretend there's a Rotting Christ logo with a pentagram on here. This was an official tribute to Rotting Christ that Azurmadoth Records from Mexico released. This contains the cover of The Fifth Illusion, which was the very first song I ever recorded on bass that was quote-unquote commercially released. For those of you paying attention, Azurmadoth is also releasing the live Morbosidad album and booking us for that festival. So once again, everything comes full circle.
There will be a quiz at the end of the show, so pay attention.
Yeah. I don't even know if I can remember this. Okay. Funeral Doom might be kind of a hard sell on the Witching Hour, but in case anyone cares about Funeral Doom, I was in one of the only Funeral Doom bands that ever came out of Texas, in Oblivion. This one is notable because all the songs, it's Funeral Doom, so it's like, 15, 20-minute songs. Tracks 2, and I believe there's 2 songs on here that I recorded in one take, first take, and the only thing that I had to punch in was one single note that I held for maybe a second longer than I should have. We could have just edited it, but I always prefer to just redo it if I fuck up. These days, though, I just prefer to just leave fuck-ups in because I just like to keep it raw and natural. I already showed all the Churchacide stuff. I could show Condemner.
Yeah, let's talk about Condemner. That was a good thrash band.
I think you might have a wire cross. Condemner wasn't really thrash. That was like very minimalist death metal.
Oh no, I'm getting mixed up. I know the dude from Austin that has the motorcycle. There's some. Just go on, Jake.
That doesn't narrow it down. Okay, so
he rides around with his bass though to shows on his back, and they're an Austin thrash band. It's been a while. Anyway, no, Condemner's from Dallas, right? Am I getting
the main guy is? Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, the main guy is from Dallas. This was the first demo we did. I was the original singer. This was actually the very first CD that I ever released myself. This was the Omens of Perdition demo. 4 songs, 30 minutes. So if you don't like repetitive music, you're going to have a bad time. But I really like how this came out. Zeke did the cover art, as you can see. It's kind of like, imagine if Demon Sea made incantation death metal, which I suppose is somewhat redundant because Demon Sea kind of came from that style anyway, but you get the idea. There's only so many superlatives I can use. Yep, Dave knows what I'm talking about. And then we just put out the second full... So the main guy broke up the band for a bit, and when he reformed the band, I was too busy to continue to be a member. Until last year, whenever he asked me to do some vocals on the finished album, and I was like, fuck it, why not? I can do that in my closet. So the end result is this that just came out, Condemner, ridiculously long Latin title. I just call it Condemner Malapatratus. I only did vocals on this because it was already recorded. It's a studio project. There's no real need for me to be, I don't need to play bass on everything. But this has chock full of vocals for me. The main guy wrote all the vocal lines, and he doesn't play live, so he doesn't really have to think about, like, oh, maybe he's going to have to take a breath at some point. So I definitely had to do a whole bajillion vocals on that one. So that is still available. You can go to Condemner's Bandcamp and check it out. Should I show the... fuck it. Okay, so I was also in a band called Abyss of Perdition from Mexico with a certain other person. This was my debut recording with them. This is a split with Continuum of Zool from Italy called Rites of Morbid Death. I wrote the lyrics on the original songs, and this also contains a cover of Sepultura's Show Me the Wrath.
Oh, well, that's cool as shit.
Oh, yeah. That's a song. So whenever you're recording a cover of vocals where the lyrics don't match the actual words written in the booklet, you have to just follow the pattern. You don't actually say what's written in the booklet because people are going to notice if the pattern is different versus the lyrics are different. So for that, I just basically phonetically yelled what Max was saying instead of actually reading the lyrics because we all know Max couldn't really speak English at that point. So I did that.
Hippie knows this. Remember that one?
Hate through the altres, mas hypnosis. I liked Cavalera on Saturday until they did the Chaos AD songs, and then I went to go hang out with friends.
That sounds about right.
So this is the only time I've ever been on a 7-inch record. This is Conquest Through Sacrilege, named because it's basically just a combination of the 2 songs. This one has a song that I wrote the lyrics for and played bass on, Winged Assailant Conquest. Let me cover Winged Assailant Conquest, and then there is also a Mortuary cover, Sacrilegious. That's another song where the lyrics don't actually match, so you just got to do the pattern. Let me put this back here so it's not totally fucked. Fucking death. Yeah, if I just start going through my discography... Oh, tapes! Yeah, I could be here all day. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. That's the tape version, Churchacide tape version. Let me do a plug so Aaron can get some orders out of this. This is the tape version of the new Churchacide EP, available from Goat Throne Records. If you haven't bought it, stop what you're doing, go order it. Mr. Goat Throne will get you set up. Unassailable Temptations.
That he will.
Yeah.
Goat Throne rules.
Shout out. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's the real deep cut. This is Alchemical Manifestations, which was the Plutonian Shore split with a Transylvanian funeral based out of, I think, Arizona. Plutonian Shore did a lot of splits.
I have that one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This also contains the Rotting Christ cover, so this is the very first... Yeah, that's the first thing I ever recorded on bass. Let's see, what else? I'm going to have to rearrange all this.
I mean, I didn't go Aaron, so I can't really give an opinion on Hell's Heroes. So
yeah, I'll like say. So I really wanted to go Thursday to go see Hyrax, but I just couldn't make it swing with everything else that I had going on. Friday, I'm trying to think. Sadistic Intent fucking ruled. Absu and Gamacide ruled, but the sound was really bad for them. I ain't gonna mince words. Sound outside was pretty damn bad for most of the festival. Gamacide did fucking rule though. I did like how they had. sort of guys in like hazmat suits with big ass like toxic waste bins, and that they would just play around with while the band was ripping through songs. Yeah, Gamacide fucking killed. Absu was really good despite very notable sound issues. Sadistic Intent pulverizes everybody. Morgengrau played with Sadistic Intent about 10 years ago at Mango's. If anyone remembers Mango's, it was a super tiny club in Houston.
Yep.
That was I think the most violent show I ever saw that didn't turn into an outright fight. Like that, people were going insane, just like throwing each other, crazy mosh. That was the show where I remember the Mango's parking lot was a real clusterfuck. And I wound up getting boxed in. I think it might have someone told me it might have been Hefner's truck that like boxed my car in. But,
Damn Hefner.
Damn it, Matt. But the good news was I got to hang out with like Wes and Joe, and we were just shooting the shit in the parking lot until like 5 a.m. So then someone who may or may not have been Matt moved his car. And then I got back, home in the Austin area at like 10 a.m. But I was sleep deprived. It was totally fucking awesome. Sadistic Intent's always good. And then Saturday, I did not like that Coroner set in the slightest. I don't know what the deal was with that set list. I think they were only doing like 1 or 2 songs from the first 2 albums. I think it was mostly stuff from like Gren and whatever that Mental Vortex. I don't know. I'm not into it. I'm a first 2 albums kind of guy. So I wasn't into that. But S.A. Slayer fucking ruled. S.A. Slayer was probably the best band that day.
Not surprising.
They'd mostly fixed the sound by then. They had like a guitar head blow up, but big deal. That happens to us all the time. They just got it swapped out. And then the very last band of the weekend for us was Deceased. And Deceased, even if you don't like Deceased, which I don't get it, but I love Deceased. They're one of the best live bands in all of metal. They played a cover of Whiplash's "Spit on Your Grave" because Deceased always does like at least 1 cover per show. They fucking killed it. They absolutely I don't remember. Maybe I was talking about this with Jeff, but I consider Deceased to be the missing link between death metal and traditional heavy metal in the best possible way. They just killed. They were on the upstairs of White Oak Music Hall where it was crammed as fuck, super, almost kind of dangerously packed, but it was fucking awesome. Deceased always is great. I have total respect for King. King is a person where even if I don't agree with his opinion, he was there at the time and he can fully back it up. I completely respect that. Even whenever he says Darkness Descends is like a 4 out of 10 and Rain and Blood is like a 6 out of 10. I think it might be kind of crazy, but I respect King. In the unlikely event you watch this, total hails. I hope to still be seeing Deceased shows in like 10 more years. Oh, here's something I never get to talk about. I'm going to set the box down. Give me like 2 seconds. So I'm not actually pictured in this, but Plutonian Shore actually made it into a hardcover book. I think this was done by the guys from that Via Omega zine, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
From Arizona. Okay, I should have bookmarked this. Fuck, Hey, Eric, if you're watching, do you remember what page Plutonian Shore on? I can't even read the chat. I only have so many eyes. Here we go. Eric. My very good friend Eric Bredthauer had a feature in this. Necroblanca, page 112. So, if you go to this... Oh, hey, there's surprise Saki sighting. Okay, there's 83. More Watain. Here we go. So this is something where... I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but... Okay, this is blocking my whole view. Can you see Zeus and Nick?
Yes, totally.
So this is from the Red River Family Festival that Plutonian Shore played. Hot as fuck. Absolutely blistering set. But I'm off to, stage left. You can't see me, but that's a show that I played. Oh, yeah, also Bjorn's right there. So howdy, Bjorn. Haven't seen you in a while. But, that's the only time, to my knowledge, that any band I was in has made it into a hardcover book. This is, how the fuck is this pronounced? Darkada. Darkadya. So really badass to have a band I was in actually featured in, a hardcover book. Fucking awesome. So shout out
Yes,
to
it
Eric
is.
for making that happen because it was your photo. Let me try and catch up with some of the chat because I think we got like 400.
You're
comments
probably
in
way
there.
behind at this point. Yeah, it's
Let me refresh the YouTube because I have the YouTube open in another monitor. Let me pull this up. All right. Yeah, facts, Evan. Facts on that. Let's see. That's on the Coroner set list. No me gusta. The other thing, too, is I had actually played with Coroner before. When I was in Veneria, no, sorry, different Mexican band. When I was in Abyss of Perdition, that was based out of Monterey. The only show that I ever played with that band was Mexico Metal Fest in 2022. This lineup was fucking insane. This is easily like this is like bigger than MDF. I wish I had a way to like pull up the lineup, but just off the top of my head, we were the first.
I'll look it up.
band-
What year was it?
Mexico Metal Fest 2022.
Let's see if I can find it while you're talking. Mexico.
Wasp was the big headliner. So I technically have played with Wasp. So on the day that we played, we were like the first band of the entire weekend, and we played on kind of the smaller stage. We still had a couple of hundred people watching, and then later that day, in one day, allow me to flex on just at least one thing. I played with Creator, Sodom, Destruction, and Tankard in one day. Now, Creator fucking sucked, but that was the very first time that I saw Sodom. Fucking heavy death. That was before they came to Hell's Heroes. But I do think the Hell's Heroes set was better. Maybe it's my own bias. But, Texas soil and all. But, yeah, the big four of German thrash in one day, even though I think Tankard sucked. I've never been a Tankard fan. If I was talking about German thrash, give me like Assassin, Death Row, or just pretend Creator broke up like 30 years ago. So anyway, Dismember played, which was the first time I played with Dismember. Triumph of Death covering Hellhammer. Fuck. And then the next... Oh, Rotting Christ played that day. That was very important because Plutonian Shore's biggest influence was Rotting Christ. Now, it was more on Zeus's end because Zeus did all the writing and it was, more or less his band. But just playing and they were doing the old shit. They were only doing stuff from the first 3 albums. Hearing The Fifth Illusion, the first song I ever recorded on bass, played on a festival like that was like, fuck, this is heavy death. The next day, yeah, that was it. A couple of lineup changes. Oh, okay, the super chat's still going. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, Megan rules.
So
Thanks.
Marduk, Mayhem sucked. Who cares?
But let me.
Incantation. Oh, that was only one day of the festival.
Was it? Okay, that's all I could
Asphyx
find.
played, and that was a big fucking deal again because Asphyx was like Morgengrau's original influence. So not only did I play with Plutonian Shore's biggest influence, I also played with Morgengrau's one of biggest influences. Let's see who else played. Yeah. Oh, okay. So even though Abyss of Perdition is on that flyer, they moved us to the day before. Am I cutting out?
Nope, I hear you fine.
Okay, I think you're cutting out.
I am.
Okay, we good? Okay. So, Massacre, always fuck. I'll shout out my Colombian brothers. Massacre fucking rules. Another story. Whenever we played in Berlin, we had an extremely tight layover. Technically missed our flight, but they stopped the plane for us. You can take the flyer off. I already talked about all the good bands. So they wound up losing Air France wound up losing me and Zeke's guitars. So we had to borrow them last minute. Massacre lent her a guitar. And then Cotton from Blasphemy and Bloody Vengeance and all them. He lent me his BC Rich Warlock, which was similar to this Warlock right here.
Nice.
But, he gave me a choice of a guitar strap. He's like, okay, I have 2 straps. This one is German, so he's got the accent.
Yeah.
Like, this one, and it's a normal strap, and this one, and he gives me a strap with like Barrett 50 cal shells on it.
Fucking
Obviously,
badass.
I'm going with the Barrett 50
Yes,
cal.
of course.
So, so shout out Cotton. Thank you for lending me that bass. Thank you to Massacre for lending Zeke the, I think it was a Dave Mustaine Kramer, which, good guitar. I mean, no comment about Mustaine himself, but the man can make a good guitar, I guess. So shout out Massacre for bailing us out whenever Air France lost our shit. I did get it back thankfully.
Thanks,
But
Joker.
not in time to play. Yeah, Mexico Metal Fest. Yeah, that was basically all the good bands that I talked about, and there were a lot of really shitty bands like Cradle of Filth and Batushka and some absolute basura that I played with. But I mean, just playing with fucking Dismember and Triumph of Death and
Oh yeah, how cool is
Creator
that?
Sodom,
you know?
Destruction, Brujeria of all bands. You know, R.I.P. Juan and Peach. Not really a fan of the music, but I will say they are a very entertaining live band. Like, if nothing else, like, yeah, the music's kind of chug, 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 but damn, they put on a show. And I guess if nothing else, it's cool to see Anton from Pentagram Chile. That's a fucking band I would love to see again. You guys got to play with Pentagram Chile. I did not, but I was still in attendance.
Last Hod show in Houston was that show.
Yeah, that's the one
yeah.
on my channel. Did anyone else get sick as fuck after that show, or was it just me?
I think I got sick.
I got really sick for like a week straight, but it was totally worth it.
Are you
Pentagram
getting?
Chile.
Did you avoid the Hell's Heroes sick? I saw that was going on.
I was a little sick. I think, you know, in retrospect, I thought I had like fest AIDS. I think what actually got me sick was our AC was broken. You know, Texas, even when it's not hot, it's still hot as fuck. So I think maybe it wasn't the fest that got me sick. It was just sitting in a stuffy apartment with no moving air for a couple of weeks. JD, I see the question. I did not. I didn't even get to attend. That was before my time. I think that closed in, 2005, 2006? Something like that. Someone older than me would know. But that was right before... That was right around the time I was still dipping my feet into old thrash, so
You're
I
still
wasn't really...
a little young one.
Yeah.
I got to play with Mayhem there.
Was that Maniac?
No, Mayhem.
No. What was Maniac on?
Oh, yeah, it was Mayhem.
Oh, no,
I mean, yeah, Maniac. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Grand Declaration of War tour. For some reason, everybody is revising that they love that album. Everybody hated that album, back then.
No, you know, that album is... I get the idea. I at least respect... one second. Yes, we do have a new Churchacide album that we are almost done recording. We just need the guitar solos, and then Keith has to do his mixing and mastering, and then that one should be out before the end of the year. What was I on before that? Oh, I respect at least trying something different, even if I think it was a complete... not... Maybe failure is a bit strong, but I'm not into that album at all.
We'll call it a misfire.
Yeah.
It was a misfire.
A failed experiment, which is, I guess, a little more noble than just mindlessly rehashing the same 30th album.
Wolf's Larabis, fucking great. I'm always going to stand by that one.
That one is good. I just generally don't find myself listening to any Mayhem after De Mysterious. But I also...
You're Euro, only Euro type stuff? And that's
mainly, but for some historical context, though, I wasn't around at the time, so I wouldn't have been hearing it. There would have been no, oh, Mayhem's coming back with, blah, blah, blah. So I don't really have that historical context, but just, I generally just am, I'm a Euronymous guy in terms of his, the albums that he was on.
I mean, that's totally fair. I get that. I like Blasphemer. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. I actually really like that new band of his. Is it Ruim? Ruim, that's the new one?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like that one. I actually think that's my favorite stuff Blasphemer has ever done. Maybe Blistering Hot Take. I mean, it's a good album.
That's it's really good. I can go with that. I mean,
with the Prescriptor guest vocals as well.
Now, do you like that version more than the Wolf's Lair Abyss version? Abyss version? I'm
always biased towards Prescriptor, so anything Prescriptor is on, I'll send hails.
I can almost say that I might, because it's a little faster. They did a couple things in it. Why are we talking about this? This is about Jake Holmes, damn it.
Oh yeah.
Well, damn, Jake, I could just leave and let you take over the show.
We haven't even scratched
the surface.
My discography is not an exaggeration. There's stuff that hasn't even made it onto a physical copy. The Wraith Sabbath EP I was on, I think that's supposed to be coming out on a physical copy on an underground label at some point. I did my Funeral Doom band that eventually will be on a physical copy. I have my solo project I disbanded it, but it was kind of like Running Wild, but with blast beats and death metal vocals. I have a couple bands and people. Yeah, Exocatharsis. That was so This is okay. I have 2 musical bucket list items. As astonishing as it may sound for me, I've still got a million recordings and a million bands I want to play in. I live for metal music at the end of the day. This is not just something I do for brownie points or clout. Like, I would be doing this if it was just me in, my bedroom just making, bashing out
music. Yeah.
But my 2 biggest bucket list goals. I want to do something with the fretless bass.
Okay.
But I don't like technical death metal, so there's not that many options there. And I think this after every single Hell's Heroes. I want to be in a heavy metal band. I want something like, Exciter, obviously Old Priest, Omen, first 2 Maiden. Not that there's anything wrong with the Bruce era, but just that street, like the street metal, like, even Running Wild. I love the pirate era. Everyone who's all like, yeah, pirate lyrics bad, like, no, I don't
like it. I love the first 2. Fucking rule.
Love Port Royal. I fucking love Port Royal. Port Royal is shit.
That's
like
awesome,
though. I got the Running Wild sticker on the War Beast bass. You get a fuck off bass like this with a Running Wild sticker on it, you can't give no fucks. But I want to do at least one band where it's just old, as King Fowley would describe it, old heavy metal, like Exciter, Heavy Metal Maniac, 1 guitar, 2 guitars, whatever. I just want to be on bass for it. I can't. In case anyone's wondering, I have done a million extreme vocals, can't carry a tune at all. I have no singing talent. I'm only a growler.
So you cannot do the fucking high pitch and all that. And...
Well, I can do it. I just can't do it in key.
I see what you're saying.
I can do the I can like sing a cappella, but I have no idea how to actually keep in key. It's like Korthon. Let me preface this by saying I love the Viking albums. I love Hammerheart. I love Twilight of the Gods.
I'm with you there. I like them all too. Yep.
Korthon can't sing to save his life, but it don't matter because he was still. There's just something in that off-key wailing.
It was passionate.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
the passion carried it through.
But I can't pull that off. I'm fully cognizant enough to admit it would have to have an actual singer. But okay, I hit my headphone jack. But as of now, I am in entirely too many bands for my own good.
Yeah.
And this, I don't want it to be a project. I want it to be a band where I get in the room with 3 other guys, gals, whatever, and bash out like heavy metal maniac.
Dude, I mean, you know me, that's really, where I cut my teeth when those albums were cutting out.
Well, that's all there was. Yeah.
And I mean, I just did a show the other day, just US metal, like 80 to 85, whatever. But yeah, there's something real for me. This really special about that time and that sound and just being fucking metal. It wasn't like total thrash or total death yet. It was just being fucking metal, and it's fucking cool, and it's a good time, dude. It's a fucking good time.
At some point, I'll do that. The other thing is, so for most of my career, quote unquote, I was always going to like San Antonio or Houston or even Mexico. Venereal Baptism was based out of Mexico. I used to drive to Mexico just to rehearse. Technically, I drove to Laredo and then they ferried me across because I can't drive in Mexico. But now the traffic in Austin is so fucking bad. It takes me like 3 hours just to get to San Antonio now. I just can't do those long distance bands anymore. Shout out Miguel, the Roadie Cult Eternal. But I have to just practice in Austin. So whatever heavy metal band would be in Austin, or whatever heavy metal band I would do, it would have to be in Austin because I just cannot do that drive anymore. I did it for like 15 years. It's just too much now with all the traffic and gas prices and car maintenance and but
you used to be able to get San Antonio, Austin fairly quickly, vice versa, both ways. It wasn't, but now, goddamn, 35 is always a fucking bumper to bumper at some point.
Plutonian Shore used to, so we would practice every Sunday, and I remember I think I was telling Jeff like I had to miss a show one time because I had practice, and Jeff was like, "Why do you guys even practice? You guys play often enough. You don't even need it." He wasn't wrong, but I still like to practice.
Yeah, he isn't wrong.
Every single time it took me to get from North Austin. This is when I was actually in the city of Austin, and to Zeus's house on the outskirts of San Antonio.
Yeah.
Again, not going to say the exact city. Hour and 15 minutes. That was nothing. That's like 2 albums.
Yeah, you're flying, you're moving, whatever.
But now, fucking 3 hours. I just cannot do that. Like way too much. It's too much.
Pretty much North Austin all the way through downtown Austin is just a nightmare, dude. It's like, fuck.
There's always one. I have remarked this before. Here's the biggest problem with Austin traffic. There is no Austin driving style. You know why? Because everybody in Austin, with the exception of me and like 5 other people I know, learn to drive somewhere else. So there's this Tower of Babel situation where you have people who learn to drive from everywhere else in the country all getting together. There's no uniform. Like Houston, I get it. Houston, you got to drive like a maniac, but it flows. It makes sense. Austin, who fucking knows? Like you could be going 30 miles an hour in the fast lane behind some dipshit in a Cybertruck, or you could be having to bob and weave just all over there's no consistency. There's no coherency. Yeah. I guess, keep Austin weird, whatever. But, I'm from here. I don't have fucking anything to prove. So, like, I just want to get from point A to point B. So that's the kind of shit I can't deal with anymore. But on the plus side, it's not like I'm, I don't have anything going on here. I got fucking 4 bands that I'm practicing with. The one thing is the one band that does not practice in Austin is Churchacide. We practice I'm not going to say the exact city, but we practice about 45 minutes north in a different city, which is still less time than it takes me from where I am to get to the practice space in Austin, where we practice with Morbosidad, and we will be practicing with Wormbold. That's a clue as to who the drummer is. And then the other new band that I'm doing that is very, very close to done. What was I going to bitch about Austin? I had something I was bitching about Austin. Traffic.
Austin traffic. All I know is when I go to Austin now, I will go up 281 through the hill country. Even though it might take longer, it's less of a hassle.
You're at least moving.
You're moving, and you're in the cool ass hill country where Conan was inspired.
Yeah, yeah. That when I was in Humot Tabal, that's actually where we practiced, because Adrian, the drummer, he had his land out there. That was awesome. Like we would.
Yeah, Adrian's a nice guy. And I do that on purpose too, because what's on the east side of Austin?
Veneer?
No, the record store.
Yeah. Well.
Nuclear War Now.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking older Austin, yeah.
No, I'm talking, right by the Lake Travis. So, I'm like, you come in from San Antonio that way, then you have to, go in towards Austin, where you almost go just right by Eastern Front. So, always make a stop there. And then I get into all the nasty Austin traffic.
I haven't been by there in a while, because I know every time I go there, I'm just going to spend a shit ton of money.
You should start a sick metal band about horrible traffic. That would be fucking cool.
Maybe I have. Pinballs. Yeah, JD knows what's up. Pinballs fucking rules. I don't think I've been there since before the pandemic, but back when we used to live in the city. So Pinballs is like an old school arcade.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, but it's always a really fun time. Oh, Hummet, that was right. So Hummet, yeah, so Adrian had his land out there, and he had this little barn where we would just go, and like no cops or nothing around. Substances were used that I don't use anymore. And we would just jam at like midnight, and out in the hill country you get like an actual sky.
Yeah, so you can see the stars and all that.
We'd rip through this like evil misanthropic black metal, and then we would step outside and like the stars. It's like very kind of like reminds me of maybe like what like Satyricon or Emperor would have done. Obviously, nobody's on par with like Satyricon, old Satyricon or Emperor.
But I get what you're saying, like kind of that inspiration of the
forest is my throne.
Yeah, that kind of thing going on. You know who had something like that? This might be before your time, with Dread Moon. You ever heard of that band?
That might have been before my time.
Yeah, that was some black metal dudes, kind of sketchy, but not really. But they had land out in Fredericksburg, Texas. So I go out there and hang out with them, and we would get the torches and walk around in the woods in the winter. You know, total black metal. That was
yeah.
that was fucking good time. Those dudes.
I've got some forest stories that like I can tell like at a later off-camera date. Nothing like illegal, but just
We lost Aaron.
just being grim out in the woods. Yeah, Mother North. Actually, here's some Plutonian Shore trivia. We were actually going to cover Mother North. We practiced it with 3 different lineups, and we just never actually played it live. It's like a 7-minute song.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes. So, you know, Plutonian, it's not like we ever wanted for material. You know, even when I joined the band, there were already 2 albums. And then, like, you know, the million splits those guys would do. So I think it was just like, this is too long of a song. But we did practice it.
Oh well, what was Hod's song is God of Darkness and Winter? That was. Like,
I think that one was probably that one's like 7.5.
7 minutes, right? So almost 8 minute fucking song.
I think some of the songs on Book of the Worm are kind of long too.
Yeah, well, you know,
Scorpions was like 6.5, I think.
Jorn wrote most of Book of the Worm. That was like his material. And then you can kind of hear a style change on. I mean, no, I'm saying it's totally wrong. He wrote Serpent, most of all the Serpent material, and then I kind of, you know, it happened. So I kind of took over on the Book of the Worm. And one thing I thought too is like, man, we gotta like get some slower songs. But then we got Beneath the Mountains of the Scorpion. That's like another 8 minute damn song too.
I remember. One of the first times I met TA, he told me about like the new Hod stuff. Well, at the time it was doing. I remember he mentioned specifically it was getting thrashier. Now he said that was in part because of him. He, you know, TA loves his old thrash as we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. So I remember when Death Horrors was called Apocalyptic Death Horrors.
Yep.
What was Walking Wounded? Beer told me that song title, but I don't remember.
Walking Wounded became, was it Beyond the Gates or what's that song?
Through the Gates They Come.
Through the Gates, yeah. Through the Gates.
I think that was I think Beer must have completely rewritten the lyrics because.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Lyrically, the original theme was kind of more like 9 days.
Yeah, it was about people who are, we're way off in the weeds, folks.
This is some deep lore.
Yeah, this is Texas lore now.
Yeah.
Walking Wounded was about people who were traumatized and don't even know it.
Yeah. I remember.
Like they bury it. Like it's an actual, I think, medical term. Beer, knew about that. They bury the trauma. They don't even know that this happened to them because it was so horrific. And they called that Walking Wounded. But then he was like, "Fuck that! We're gonna call it Through the Gates. And we're gonna summon a fucking Cthulhian demon." Yeah, repressed memories, basically. Yep.
I'm just like trying to go back and read through some of the comments here. Yeah, Asher's 100% right about the coldest day in Texas is like the sun from Super Mario 3 trying to kill you. God damn.
Jesus. Yeah, hell, shout out to fucking Nick, dude. I saw that you guys are gonna get the Texas dates on the Pandera tour.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. That's fucking badass for you guys. Shout out, dude.
Shout out, Sick Nick. Always good seeing you.
I am officially never going to go to a Pantera show, but good for you. I mean, that's good news for Nick. I might not survive. That's the only reason if they find out.
Still got a target on your back from,
the shady past of us.
Like 2014. We're not trying to get anybody canceled or more canceled than we already are.
No kidding.
What else I got in this box? So just like zines and shit. Those are all sold out. This was an interview Churchacide did.
Let's talk about your zine, your Texas zine. Where's that? I mean, before you showed it.
Right here.
This Zake. Jake is so dedicated that he fucking did his own zine. Let's show that. I'm gonna put you on solo so you can get a little better look.
Okay. So this, I'm going to put the mic down. So this is for real ones who remember this shit. All Texas and only Texas. So I didn't even know I had 2 copies yet. So this was the zine that I did. Zeke's art, by the way. Okay. Where's the other one? Here we go. Voivod, of course, very strong there. I say that like the dynamic mic is even going to pick it up.
Now we actually can hear you. It's back.
Nice.
But
No indoor voice. No indoor voice. So from 2014 to about 2016, I did 4 issues of a zine called Under the Sign of the Lone Star. The idea was unrepentant devotion to the great nation of Texas, which I still stand behind. Note how I said nation, not state. The entire, the whole focus was only Texas bands, excluding, bands from other places that were playing in Texas. Yeah, and the thing was, I didn't even come close to running out of material. I remember a very early conversation with Matt Hefner, where Matt had been talking to someone who was like, yeah, he's going to run out of content after 2 issues. And Matt's like, well, kind of says more about you than about him, because we have no shortage whatsoever. I ended it at what I felt was its peak. Issue 4 with the Slaughter cover. Quote prescriptor, fucking damn it. All of the covers were done by Zeke, and they were all homages to the various shit that I grew up on, redone in Texas style. This is the one for Strapato by Slaughter, but everyone is a steer. I think it was called Steer Pato, because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Actually, I don't know if you could see it, but one of these guys, he's wearing a hod patch.
Let me see.
It's beneath
Oh,
Dolman.
yeah, I see it. Yeah.
It's beneath Dolman. And actually, I had originally planned to do a 5th issue entitled Wranglin' Violence with whatever Hyrax parody cover, but ultimately I decided this must end at its peak. I could not allow it to stagnate, not that it could have, but I just decided,
Sure.
The other thing, too, is at that point, I was becoming so interconnected in the Texas scene myself that it was impossible to really look at anything from a neutral angle, because at that point, I'd already been like a major band whore by 2016, so I couldn't. It's like, fuck, how do I actually talk about this when I was in this band or I'm recording with this band? So that was another
conflict of interest. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It was impossible to do without a conflict of interest, which is why Dead Forever, it will never return. I fully retired at that point, but I would much rather retire with dignity and dedication than just continue just slogging out just for its own sake. So
for sure, yeah.
And I did these dirt fucking cheap too. I know that there's like a bunch of Judas Iscariot, exactly. There's zines that I follow, and that there are still zines that are awesome. Let me show 2 of them. This is one I was just interviewed in for Churchacide. This is Occult Abyss. Ow, hand cramp. This is Occult Abyss fanzine based out of Tennessee. Also featuring Crucifier, Nunslaughter, Satanic Warmaster, Sapras. Shout out Tony, he's a good kid. Nuclear Remains, Churchacide, me. So that was a pretty stacked lineup. I understand the author is working on issue 2 already. Then I was recently interviewed in Demoniac zine based out of Canada, I believe. You can't read that. Okay, so this was also Witch's Hammer. I want to give a shout out to my brothers in Witch's Hammer. AJ is my bass brother. I love AJ. Dude is a killer player. That was who else we played with in Tijuana, was Witch's Hammer. AJ had the best bass tone of that whole fest. Also, Nuclear Remains. I'm billed as Trench Warfare, which is not technically inaccurate, but, that's me. So he's doing another issue of this. I am also going to be in Voices from Below, I think, just off the top of my head, zine run by a friend of mine. That's on behalf of Churchacide and Wormbold. I think that issue is actually going to press. So Voices, I have a fucking cell phone. I can just look this up.
There you go.
Hang tight, lads. We got some plugging shit. I'm not affiliated with the zine at all. I'm interviewed in it. Yes.
Heavy metal information overload.
There you go. But the thing about the stream being preserved is you can rewatch it later. Maybe on
exactly. I never understand when people say, "Hey, man, I missed the show." I'm like, well, technically you didn't, because it's there. You can watch it anytime you want.
Rewatch it, and if you have to slow it down to maybe 0.75, pretend that I didn't slam one of these. But like I said, I grew up on Hyrax, Nuclear Assault, SOD. I gotta go fast. So the zine is Voices from Below _zine on Instagram. Check it out. It's mostly me doing the talking as normal. But,
I know. I'm gonna go grab a burger. I'll be back. You take over, man.
Zeke is also going to be on featured in that issue as well. That's a Churchacide and Wormbold double feature. That should be out very, very soon. I don't remember off the top of my head who else is in it, but I do remember there's one band, very good friends of mine from Paraguay, named Infaustus, who are a trio of young ladies that are playing absolutely ripping black death metal. They are absolute diehards. She went to the gym. I can't bring Zeke on. Maybe part 2, but yes, AJ does play. He played a Fender jazz. I think a jazz bass. Really, really killer tone. But yeah, the girls from Infaustus drove from Paraguay to Brazil, which is approximately 18 to 20 hours through very arduous terrain just to see the Brazilian festival that we played. We met them there, became very good friends. Total support to all my Paraguayan friends. That's the country that I want to play most, is Paraguay. If even 50 people in that scene are as dedicated as them, it's going to be one of the best shows that I ever play. I'll be down there eventually. You may see me in South America next year. Stay tuned.
There you
I'm
go.
not going to give away too much.
Got a little witching exclusive, kinda.
What else I got here? So that was the 2 zines I'm in. This one, you don't need to blow up the... Yep, and Faustus. Shout out to all them. This is in, I think, Slovakian, whatever that language is. This was, I think, Churchacide's first international interview. Let me... Quoth prescriptor. Fucking damn it. Yeah, that classic one where he's like, you can forget about this. And you can forget... Yeah, shout out Glorification. You can forget about this. And then he tells Ray to like roll it Equitant. Actually, I met Ray for the first time at Hell's. He was really cool.
Ray is one of the coolest dudes, dude.
Yeah.
Totally laid back, very humble, and
very laid back. Ray
knows his metal, man. Hell
here we go. Ray is super soft spoken as expected. So here is again, it's all in Slovakian, so I don't really need to blow it up that much. But yeah, this was.
Would that be called Slavic? Slovakian? Slavic?
Are there any Eastern Europeans in chat? Please help. All I know is we did this. I think this would have been when... I think this was before the split. I think it was during the pandemic.
Slavic.
Slovak.
I got it.
Oh, no, Slovak. You're thinking Slavic.
No,
well, either way.
Slovak.
Yeah,
Slavic.
there's a bunch of...
Oh, that's right. That's spelled different.
Yeah, because Slavic is like... that's just like a region, but I guess Slovak...
I'm not a geography major here.
Yeah, like I said, I don't read a word of it, but we're in it, thanks to whoever put that
Well, that's
together.
cool. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this box is my entire life, my entire musical life up to this point.
It's going to be a heavy metal fucking treasure one day.
I mean, wait till you see the unreleased shit. Jesus Christ, I got a bunch of unreleased shit coming out. Like Churchacide. What else? Yeah, we got the new Wormbold for that split. New band demo coming out. Not going to say too much about it, but you're also not going to have to wait much longer. We always have new Morbosidad stuff coming out. There's like 3 or 4 other projects that friends have hit me up with to play bass on. I'm just... That ball is in their court.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Yeah.
Not only does this guy play guitar and drums, but now he knows Taekwondo. God damn it, dude. What do you not do?
JD is mogging all of us, as the kids say. What else I got here?
No shit, dude. You're going to have to get a Volt by the time you fucking retire to put all
That's
that shit
the idea. At some point, I mean, maybe it's a little morbid, but I'm not going to be here forever. And, you know, you got to leave. I just want, you know, my music to be appreciated for eternity. Maybe that's a bit arrogant.
Hey, man. No,
but, hey,
I don't think so. I mean, do you put it out just so it can disappear into the ether? No.
Yeah. It's too many. Here's where too many people, too many historical figures have failed attempting to find the Philosopher's Stone in order to achieve immortality. They're thinking of of immortality in the physical realm. all you really have to do is write songs that people are still going to talk about in 100 years, and you're as good as immortal until this stupid sun just burns out.
Leave some for us, JD.
I was actually a philosophy major in college, so every once in a while I can wax. Oh, Widower. Yeah. This was, in case anyone remembers Widower from Austin.
That's the fucking band I was thinking of, Jake. Widower. Earlier, I thought it was Condemner. I got it mixed up with Widower.
Okay, yeah. Widower. I'm actually very proud of this one. I played bass on this one.
Knew it.
It's easy when talking with my discography. It's really easy to get jumbled. This had my rhythm section brother Sterling Junkin on drums. I was only with Widower for like 6 months because they were basically at the end of their life by the time I joined. But we did get this killer album recorded. This is entitled Cataclysmic Sorcery. I think it's only on Bandcamp, and there's like a third-party upload on YouTube. But if I were to select out of this entire box 2 releases that really show me as a bass player, this is one of them, because I got to play like a bunch of really fancy shit, and probably that Plutonian split, because again, we did it live. God damn, how did we do that?
Yeah, dude, live in the fucking the living room.
Yeah, and let's see.
That's old school too. That's how I did my Cerebral demo. Put a bunch of mics on everything, Cerebral Distortion, just mic'd up everything, ran it into a mixer, and made a demo. Sterling, RGV, great drummer. Oh, he's from the Valley?
Yep,
Cool.
Sterling, yep. Sterling is, and Sterling was also on the 2 Venereal Baptism albums that I was on too. So Sterling's a great drummer. I don't know what he's really up to these days, but he was always like a favorite drummer, like to jam with for sure. We always need more drummers. You want to start learning an instrument? If you
Hey, is that? Well, wait a minute. I'm getting confused. You'll probably know. Who's the Sacral Curse drummer? That's not him.
Which one?
Well, the current one.
Oh, you're thinking Vossi. Vossi was with Venereal Baptism.
Okay, see,
Yeah.
I knew.
Vossi's good people. Yeah. Vossi's good people. Oh wait, no, because Vossi wasn't on any of the Venereal Baptism albums. He was on the newer one. But yeah, when Venereal Baptism started playing live, he was the live drummer. He is currently in Sacral Curse. I think Venereal Baptism is still active too, but they're just not as active as they were.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, he's in Trenchant.
You're
Not that
thinking
guy.
the other guy who will not be mentioned. But yes.
Whoa, really? There's some type of... I didn't know that. I thought they all were friends. Okay, well...
Well, no, I'm talking about with me and that guy.
Okay.
Me and a certain former drummer that I had.
No,
But-
I'm not talking about drummer. I'm talking about... What's his name? With the long hair. From...
Oh, Alicio.
Alicio.
Yeah, Alicio.
Yeah, he's a... Yeah, I was going to say, are you serious? Alicio?
No,
See?
Alicio.
This is how rumors get started.
No, Alicio, if you're watching this, hails, brother. Good people.
Yeah, that dude's super cool. He's in Trenchant,
Yeah.
right? And he's in Joe's new band.
Yeah, actually, there's speaking of more bands I've played on.
Transition.
You think this is a fucking game? I play bass on this too. Available at Goat Throne Records.
You were on Nickelblade, the recording?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I mean, as a session guy, but yeah. And that was session recorded in 2021, I think. That was the first song on this is One Take, First Take. You think
Look
this
at
bass
that.
band is a game?
Now this is what I like. This will get this man some beer. He's having a good time.
Oh no, that's the
I
reason
know.
why I can do all I can. Is I don't. Very accurate, Asher. I've gotten around. But yeah, geez, there's also you know what? This band didn't end that badly for me. I'll show the Phalanx Inferno stuff. This was a project Zeke and I were in with Tony. I love Tony. Tony's good people. This was called Phalanx Inferno.
Tony rules, dude. Shout out to Tony.
Shout out Tony. If you're watching this, hails. I'll see you around. But yeah, this was Phalanx Inferno. This was something I did during the pandemic. That yeah, I mean, yeah, it was not much to it. You know, it's death metal. I played bass on it. Shocking development. This one has a Celtic Frost cover on it, Jewel Throne.
Badass.
Yeah. I left that band after about 6 months, but I got a couple of badass recordings out of it. Where's that Necroblade?
You just had it.
One, yeah, and I just saw Joe. I was hanging out with him at Hell's for a minute. Yeah, like I said,
Joe's another guy I need to get on the show eventually too.
Yeah,
Joe
Joe's
fucking
got
rules.
Yeah, hails to Joe. Let's see what else I got here. There's some. Well, that's tape version of Church Splits. Condemner. I guess I'll show Exocatharsis. This might. I don't think the Witching Hour is going to be super into this, but this was the band I did that was like running wild death metal. I just put out this compilation of everything that I ever recorded.
What are you talking about? The Witching Hour is going to have fucking Jason McMaster on Tuesday night.
True.
So fuck yeah, it's going to rule.
Yeah, so I still have like 1 million copies of that compilation in case anybody wants it. Just hit me up. I'll send it to you for free. Johnny mentioned.
Well, okay. You got to tell them how they can find you before.
I do not like social media in general because why would I? But if you're on Instagram, just look up. My fucking name isn't even easy. Let me just type it in the chat. It's at Anti-Criconoclast. So I'm gonna type that in the chat because
Yeah.
That's my Instagram handle. That is really the only way to get a hold of me. But yeah, if you want that compilation, let me know. I'll send you some. I got like fucking 30 copies.
There you
Johnny
go.
brought up a very early collaboration I did with Keith.
What is this?
This is Vulse, Crucifragmented Vulsinapses. Even back, this was, we recorded this in 2013, me and Keith. This was a pretty cult tape I did. That was a true collaboration in that Keith wrote half the shit, I wrote half the shit, I wrote all the lyrics, played bass. We did a very limited run of these in, I think, 2014. Did we reissue this? No, we didn't reissue it. We reissued some of the other Vulse stuff. It was like kind of like Blackened Death Thrash, but we were still kind of figuring some stuff out as far as like programming the drums and mixing all that. But I do like my bass sound on that. That was recorded with the Ibanez Destroyer. That always belonged to Zeke. That's all the way over there. I'm not gonna walk to that side of the room, but I like my fuzzy bass sound on that one. So that's another cult entry. We haven't even talked about Trench Warfare that I was in.
Yeah, well, you might as well. We might as well get that in here.
We played some shows.
I like Trench Warfare. One of my favorites. I know. Are they considered an Austin band? What?
Half and half. Tony's in Midland.
Yeah, he's
way up
there.
They practiced in Austin. We actually share a practice room, so that's because Sam is their live drummer. But yeah, I think. What shows did I play with that band? Did you record
the album that they're
second, the upcoming?
The one's coming out on Nuclear War now.
Honestly, I have no idea what the status is, but
yeah,
I've heard it. It sounds good. I just have no idea. It's
when it's gonna come. Yeah, who knows?
It is, but sounds good to me. My bass sounds really good. That was recorded almost live with me and Tony. Just jamming along like we had Ronnie Palmer do the drum. Well, they had Ronnie. I was out of the band for a bit and then I rejoined. So in that time they got Ronnie Palmer to do the session drums. Ronnie fucking rules. Like that dude deserves every bit of success that he's had. Touring all over the world with like Angel Corpse, Cruciamentum. He's currently in Malevolent Creation. Awesome drummer.
Yep.
So me and Tony did. We basically recorded the guitars and bass at the same time, not quite live per se, because we weren't playing the live drums. They were already recorded. But I think if I remember right...
You mean you tracked at the same time? Like you both were tracking?
I tracked at the same time as Tony. If I remember correctly, so we did... Because Tony did 2 rhythm guitar tracks, and that meant I just did 2 bass tracks as well, just to have more to choose from. I think I only punched in like... Very true. Perdition Temple fucking rules.
Yep. Great,
I think I only punched in like 5 times out of 16 tracks, and the newer songs are longer too. They were like 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, So hopefully that comes out before too long.
You know
But
what?
yeah, that was the only thing I ever recorded with that band.
Let me look for something.
The live
me see.
video?
I think I got some you with
Oh, that new
Trenching.
song?
Yeah, didn't I show something one time? Let me see.
I also have videos on my channel too. If you want to look for the last show I played with them.
Do I fucking... Yeah. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me find it. Computer's slow because I got so many programs running.
Too many
Don't
windows.
play it. Yeah, when I live stream, it... See? Hold on. You hear it?
I
Okay.
think there's something going on.
Yeah,
I
let me
can't
try this.
actually do it.
I didn't want it to fucking play, but we're gonna show this. Then we'll start winding down. We're going on almost 3 hours.
Yeah,
You've been here 3 hours.
We barely even played any music.
I
If you want to get
know.
into the weeds on my discography, we'll literally be here for like 5 hours.
Okay. It's in downloads and no, not fucking Iron Casket. I'm about ready to give my computer a fucking drop kick. Hold on now. Trench Warfare. Open file. I got.
Yes,
Okay.
Asher, that was that. I think that rehearsal video was with Belgor, the old drummer, and with Nick too. I don't think there's that much video of Nick. I could be wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the original live lineup for Trench Warfare.
All right, I think I found it. Jake, give me 1 second.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, let's check out. Is this your last show? The one with Adam?
Samuth? With Samuth?
Yeah.
Dude, Samuth fucking ruled. God damn.
Yep.
That ruled.
I actually went to this show.
Yeah.
Check out Jake.
Yeah.
That was a fucking good show, dude. That was like my favorite of the night from that show. For a
That was a
fact.
fun one. Well,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah, that was a fun one.
But I knew I had something on here from you. All right, Jake, I think we are going to wind down. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Dude, you're a great guest because all I have to do is hang out and you just take over. That's fucking
I
awesome.
haven't scratched the surface.
I know. We'll do another one, man.
When the new band demo is ready, we'll do a part 2.
Yeah, I want to talk about that demo. Chat, any last questions for Jake before we get out of here? Jalapeno cheeseburger and a witching hour. Goddamn, what a great combo. Thanks, Miguel. That's what I'm going to go do here in a minute. I need to eat. Jake fucking rules from fucking Aaron. Come on, chat. Jake gave us a good fucking story, man. Good times. Hills all, Carl and Jake. Thanks, Ruben. Good to see you, dude. Killer show tonight, guys. Thanks, Megan. Any questions? I grabbed Culver's. That sounds delicious.
Jake Fest.
Jake Fest. I'm the witching. I'll just rename it Jake Fest. No, it was great, dude. You fucking gave us a lot of info, though. And a lot of background on everything. That was fucking great. Good show. Always great sharing the stage with Jake. Hell yeah.
Brother.
BC Rich or BC Rich?
All of these. The one's right behind me.
Tone Joker from New York City, the Bronx, says Jake Killer Show.
Thank you.
Matt from South Carolina, Matt, or is it North? I get confused. I know it's a Carolina. All right, man. I think that's it. I just have to plug something real quick. For me coming up on Tuesday, I already said it, but we'll say it again. We got Jason McMaster from Watchtower. Most of the other people know him from Dangerous Toys, but he's Watchtower in my book. We'll have him Tuesday. I'll focus more on, obviously, Watchtower. There's plenty of podcasts to talk about the other band, so we're going to go down the Watchtower rabbit hole. And I want to poke his mind about the S.A. Slayer show and the reunion and all that. And then coming up here in San Antonio on June 7, ETD, Pius Levis, Hexea, High Tones, and one more who hopefully we'll know by tomorrow who that one more is. I promise you it'll be a good show and a good time.
And real quick, Johnny has a question. Any place you want to perform that you still haven't? I'll play like basically anywhere. The aforementioned Paraguay would be great. Japan would be awesome. Canada. Somehow I have never played in Canada. I've played in Mexico.
Oh, shit. Canada rules, too, dude. You'll have fun.
I've visited once, but I've never actually played in Canada. Yeah, it's just, I was, I guess, too busy south of the border.
Yeah, dude. So, both sides, everything. Mexico, some parts of the U.S., Canada, killer fucking metal scenes, man. All right, Jake. Thanks for coming on, dude. This was a good time, man. I totally enjoyed it.
Hell yeah.
Played China yet?
No, I mean, like I said, I'll play anywhere.
Spoiler, it's just a kill is the one.
Oh,
God damn it, Johnny. Now I don't have a good surprise for everyone. All right, man. Thanks, Jake.
Hell yeah. Cheers, y'all. Awesome show.
We'll do a part 2 down the road when he gets some about 1,000-word projects off the ground, and we'll talk about them. Yeah. All right, man. Let me get the outro ready. All right, we'll see y'all next time. Later.